Well,
It's
doesn't
okay.
matter. They'll
It's all right.
catch up.
Stu.
Just chew.
It's gonna
Just
be
just
okay.
breathe.
Honestly, I'm getting
Breathe.
stressed now.
Breathe.
I'm
Well,
getting
maybe we
stressed.
should kick you off.
We kick you off.
We're going. We're
Hey, it
straight
ain't
in.
me who had a mic issue, was it?
Come on. Jesus.
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
We got it fixed. Everything's cool. We're gonna be totally chill for the rest of the show.
Juju, Jimmy, other fellas will tell you about every single game that we play this week.
Just moronic commentary and stupid sound effects, and it's just dumb. It doesn't make any sense.
Jimmy's Game Breakers. Here comes Duke with the soundbite saviors.
Worst podcast ever.
It's very strange what Eric picks like as a sound effect.
It's the veteran gamers.
I just want to say, f*** this game. I'm done.
Switch that console off before you have to press repeat, yo.
Keeping it real.
I like the beats and shouting.
Hello and welcome to episode 733 of the Veteran Gamers podcast.
Yeah, 733 finally got it worked out. Hi, everybody. I'm Duke.
And I'm Stu.
And I'm Chinny.
Yeah,
And I've had the worst technical difficulties 3 weeks in a row, but it's all fixed now. Yes.
It is finally.
There's
By the
nothing
way,
like the feeling of getting everything fixed.
there might have been what sounded like an echo because I still have my speakers turned on. I'm like, what's that noise? You know, when you've got your headset on so you can't really hear. And I'm like, I can hear a noise. Where's that coming from? And then realize
I don't hear any noise. I don't know what you're
No,
talking
I've turned them off now.
Great.
Halfway through the
Okay.
intro.
So let me explain what happened to everybody who didn't know.
My favorite time. It's story time.
Story time.
3 weeks ago, I had some weird problem with my graphics drivers so that they didn't install. I had to update my graphics drivers, but instead of just saying, hey, you should update your graphics drivers, the GeForce NVIDIA thing just killed one of my monitors and made the other one all squished up and fucked up. So eventually, after doing the show all distorted and blurry, I got that fixed 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, or last week, I guess I should say. So that was 2 weeks ago. Last week, for those who don't know, my whole PC died. I did the whole show through Zoom, and I was furious the whole time. Stu said at the start of it, you should probably just take the week off. And I was like, no, I'm doing the show. And he was right.
Yeah.
So my bad.
Yeah. And can I just say, it came to a bit of a head, and I said this to Chinny just before was, when you start dismantling your PC halfway through the show on the middle of your desk, and I'm like, what are you doing?
I didn't know what else to do. It was so frustrating. I hate not being able to do something about my predicament, right? Unless I know that there's an expert. Like I said to my students, when I got my thumb mangled in a dogfight and I thought they might have to amputate part of the thumb, my attitude was like, that sucks, but whatever. When my PC goes wrong, I'm just like, motherfucker,
Oh, yeah.
shit.
And then
If I knew somebody would come and fix my PC, that would be one thing.
And then he started rubbing the internals with some sort of cloth, and I'm like, what is that going to do to his C drive?
Well,
What's
you
that
never
doing?
know you never
It's
know
not a
what
genie.
might help.
It's not a genie lamp.
So the point is, my C drive died, and I had to completely reinstall Windows. But I didn't know that at first. So I did the show, and then I went running. I called the Geek Squad. There's this thing in the U. I don't know if y'all have it over there, but there's this at Best Buy. They have this company called Geek Squad that can repair tech. And so I called them randomly. And it's of course, a national hotline, international number. I ended up talking to some guy probably in another country, which is fine. But I was like, here's what's going on. And he was like, do you have a reinstall USB drive? And I said, no. And he's like, well, you'll need one of those because otherwise I can't help you. I was like, God damn it. So I went running off to Best Buy and I asked them, like, what can you do for me? And the guy goes, we can maybe recover some data, but it'll take 3 days and we need $200. And I was like, fuck you, I'm not paying you shit. So he was like, well, you can reinstall Windows, but you'll need an install drive. And I was like, well, do you sell something that I could use for that? And he was like, no. And I was about to leave. He's like, wait, I think maybe we do. It's a good thing he couldn't find it because that would have cost me another $100, which I didn't need to spend. What I needed to do was make a USB Windows install drive. Now, I didn't have one. It's very easy to make it when Windows is working. So here's my advice to everybody out there. If you have Windows, today, make yourself a Windows install USB. You will be so thankful you have it. if Windows ever dies on your machine. Because I tried to make it on the Mac, and you can't do it on the Mac. There's all these things that were like, use Boot Camp Assistant, use the terminal. I was like, I'm not doing that to my wife's computer. And so it didn't work, and I was even more angry. I'm like, God, what am I going to do now?
I bet Diane was just
then-
like hiding in a cupboard somewhere.
Dude, at one point she was like, you're freaking me out. Like, you need to calm down. And I do. Like, it's like today when the mic wasn't working just now, I was just like, God damn it. But eventually we got it sorted. So with the Windows thing, I was like, oh, she's like, well, how about trying my work PC? And I was like, yeah, that'll work. But it won't because we can't run programs on it. So once again, brick wall, brick wall, brick wall. And finally I was like, okay, look, maybe our next door neighbors have a Windows PC we can use. And they did. So I was like, oh, thank God. And I was texting them like 8 o'clock at night. I'm like, hey, I hate to bother y'all, but
2 in
can
the
I come
morning.
over and it was 8 p.m. But I was like, can I just come over? It'll only take 20 minutes. And they're so nice. They're very friendly. We have great neighbors. And she goes, yeah, that's fine. But can it wait till the morning, please? Like, we have a newborn and it's just, not a good time right now.
No, we
And I was
can't.
like, and I was like, okay, yes, of course. But in my heart, I'm like, God damn it, I don't need to bother the baby. I won't have to say a word. All I got to do is come over, click some things, and make a whatever. But it was
I
very
could,
nice.
I could totally imagine what was going through your mind at that point.
So the next morning, that's the thing about being an adult is like you take what's in your head and you only let some of it out, right? So the next morning, I waited till 9 a.m. I didn't want to be too obnoxious. And I was like, hey, is it a good time? And she's like, yeah, totally. I was like, oh, thank God. So I ran over there, made the Windows install USB, and then basically half of Sunday last week, Monday, because we had the day off because it was Martin Luther King Day. Thank God for Martin Luther King. Mostly because of the civil rights thing and the whole fighting white supremacy.
Yeah,
blah,
not
blah,
because you
blah,
fix
blah,
your
blah, blah,
PC.
But also because it let me fix my PC.
I have a
Instead of-
dream
imagine
that
being-
somebody will be able to fix their PC.
and have the time needed. Imagine me being at school, my PC's dead. I would have it with me, like, look at this thing. I need to clean it again. Like, Mr. P, put it away. Yeah, so I eventually got it sorted. And the best news was that, my C drive broke, but I had 2 other auxiliary drives onto which I had been installing many games. And then the question is, will those games still be there? And the answer is yes. And Steam is so good. As soon as you start up Steam and you log in, it's like, okay, here's all your games that are installed. You're good to go. And like everything was there. Rocket League, Skyrim, all these other games. I'm like, oh, sweet. I don't even have to reinstall them. How sweet is that? And my Skyrim mods were already ready to go. I had to do some tweaking to get them to work, but it all worked out okay. And now everything's back up.
Yeah, can I just say, by the way, the Steam Deck is just as good. I took my SD card out, my old one, stuck it in my new one, and it automatically recognized all the games that were on it.
It can
No problem.
play all 3 of the games that work on it. Yay!
No, there's what do you mean? There's thousands of games work on it.
Everything I see people talking
about.
about the Steam Deck is it won't work on this won't work. You have
Well,
to
I've
adjust
got-
the INI files.
I've got a story about that this week, funnily enough.
Ooh,
Funny you should mention
okay,
that because I've
let's-
got a story. No,
let's hear
it's game related. No. I will come to it when we do what we've been playing.
That's in the later story time.
It'll
Yeah, okay.
manifest. It'll manifest.
Chinny,
Don't
how's
you
the baby?
worry.
Baby's fine. My dad is 80 today.
Oh,
happy
happy
birthday,
birthday,
Chinny's
Chinny's dad.
So
Yeah,
Vic,
80.
good old Vic, he
You say that it's your birthday time to skank it up hard.
yeah, and he got quite emotional because we got Jimmy and Madeline turned up, and we haven't seen Jimmy and Madeline
Aw.
for a long time. I haven't seen Jimmy.
Well, they're
Because your
old. They're
brother's a
adults.
bum.
Nearly adults.
I haven't seen Jimmy since my wedding day. And I-
Get out of town.
yeah, and I haven't
Damn,
seen.
that
because your
is
brother a jerk and you got beef with your
crazy.
brother.
No,
huh?
no, no, no. Listen, look, life happens, things happen. It's called
Yeah.
family business.
No,
which
that
means-
is crazy.
Which,
though. That is
which
what,
means it's
4
nobody
years, 5
else's
years
business.
now?
5
Yeah,
years, 5 years.
5 years.
Sure it is.
So it's nobody
My
else's.
business. Everything is my business.
Yeah,
not-
come on, Chinny. Tell us all the deets, man. what went on?
No. There's
What
no.
went on? What was the beef about?
No.
He obviously
No.
doesn't want.
No.
I'm joking. I'm
Leave it.
joking.
There's no
I'm
beef
joking.
anyway.
I know
It's
you're
just
joking.
they're at an age where family isn't there on the forefront of their mind, but they're still lovely.
Did you see how I chucked in a cyberpunk reference there? Give us the deets. That's
I didn't know that was a
speak.
cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk speak.
Really,
You
Geeks now is just
You're
cyberpunk.
getting
reference?
like Duke, where you're
Cyberpunk
saying
speak.
references that no one cares or gets. Anyway,
People who play
Well,
Cyberpunk
and that
will.
aren't unique to that thing.
Yeah.
If you say dope,
Yeah.
that's a Simpsons reference.
So,
but if you
Everybody
say
knows.
howdy, that's not a Simpsons reference.
So, yeah, so my dad turned 80. Jimmy and Madeline turned up. Obviously, Rosa was there. It was the first time Jimmy and Madeline met Rosa. And we had Talia there, my other
Aw,
niece.
so sweet.
My dad just basically, he didn't, my dad can't see very well. So basically, Jimmy hugged him. And I said, Dad, do you know who that is? And he was like, no, I got a clue. He just hugged him. All right, and
It's some cute kid
said,
hugging me.
I said, it's Jimmy. And he just welled up.
Yeah,
He
he's got a
couldn't
kid. How
believe it,
old
yeah.
are Jimmy and Madeline now? How old
Jimmy and
are
Madeline are now 19.
Shit, fuck, they're adults.
Yeah, they're adults.
they're fully
grown
adults.
Yeah. So
Holy
it was.
cow.
I've had a really special day, to be honest with you. Like, it's been such a nice day, and I bought a present for my dad.
And then we showed up.
Yeah,
and then you
we
two
showed
showed
up.
up. It's like I had
And
to
then
end the,
bloody
day on a
Duke with his
damp
crappy mic.
squib.
My fucking microphone.
Yeah,
so-
exactly.
But so I bought a present for my dad, and I was so confident about this present. You know, when you think of a present, you're like, "Fucking hell, this person's gonna love this present, right?"
Yeah, you've got it completely nailed
Yeah.
it.
And then
Nailed it.
And then
right, I doubted myself.
Oh,
Right?
Oh no.
And I was like, should I get him another present as well?
Backup present.
Because if I just told you what it is, if I just told you now
Yeah,
what
yeah,
it
yeah.
is, you go,
Yeah.
that's crap, right?
Well, go on, tell us. Go on, tell us
How
what
about
it
we
is.
don't
Then.
know
Go on,
your
let's see.
dad like that.
So
Yeah, come on,
what I
let's
got
see.
him was a
Yeah.
torch. Or a
That's crap.
flashlight,
That's
right?
crap.
So let me explain why it's so good. First of
Is
all,
it a mag light? Is it a big, massive one like they had in
well,
like X-Files?
So my dad, as I explained, has trouble seeing. So he uses a
Yeah.
little
Yes.
torch. And I bought him this little torch years ago. And it's this dinky little torch, right? And he's using it all the time. I watched him using it. I was like, fucking hell, that's pathetic, right? and remember, did I tell you when the van got robbed at work? Did I tell you about this? Remember ages ago? When
Yeah, I
it
remember
was
that.
Yeah,
it was
vaguely.
Halloween 2022. It was a long time ago. So anyway, Tom had this torch, and it was fucking massive. When the police came, the police were like, "That torch is better than our torch, right?" And I made a mental note.
Hey, can I have that?
I made a mental note, and I was like,
steal
"Tom,
it."
tell me what that torch is." And when you talk about torches, and right, it's like a really good brand. It comes in a nice box and a nice bag, and it's
Yeah.
like nice. So it's like a Rolex of
Crown
torches,
Royal,
right?
Purple bag.
And
yeah.
I said, Dad, and he was literally, I paid for this cake, which was space themed and everything. And I'll get a picture of the cake on the stream. But yeah, and he was looking at the cake with the torch. And I went, Dad, open the present that I got you because it's relevant to what you're doing now. And he opened it. And at first he was like, okay, whatever. And then we went outside and he shone the torch on whatever, and he was like, "Oh my god!" Right? And he was
Yes,
like,
it
"This
worked.
is amazing!" Right? And he was like
Yay.
so pumped about it. I was like, "I told you, I knew it. I knew he was loved this torch." And Tara was like,
Yay.
"Oh my god, he loves that torch." I was like, "Yes."
It'll be burning the retinas of cats when they
Yeah.
get in the garden. won't
man,
it?
it is
Like, "Ah!"
mad how good this torch is, right? So I have got some pictures that I can.
Oh, with
throw.
him with the torch. Have you got
Well,
him
yeah,
sporting
yeah.
the torch?
Yeah, I definitely do. But
But yeah, when I was younger, I always wanted one of those X-Files mag lights. You know, the ones that
Yeah.
have about 12 batteries in them.
Well, this is the same.
No, I like the
Enormous.
7 flashlight that's like horrible and grimy and you can't see anything.
Yeah,
That's the best.
no,
kind.
it's honestly, he looked like Alan Wake in the back garden. Like the way he's,
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
It was
He,
burning the shadow off the
yeah,
bloody
he was.
whatever they're
He was
called.
mad. So yeah,
the Taken.
my
the
dad,
Taken,
my
isn't
dad has had a great 80th birthday. I also
Bless him.
invited his friend that he hasn't seen. He does see a bit, but he hasn't seen for a few months, and he always rings him and stuff. So I think he was just shocked that because he said he wants to do a meal, but I thought he was just going to expect the usual family to be there. So the
Yeah.
fact that Jimmy and Madeline came. Unfortunately, we didn't have our other nephew, Leo. He didn't come, but we had Talia and Rosa. So we almost
Dude,
had
wouldn't it be cool?
all his
Wouldn't it be cool
grandkids.
if, like if we thought that if Stu thought that it was just a regular dinner, and then like suddenly other people showed
I
up.
know,
and
yeah,
then,
yeah,
like,
fucking hell.
someone
And I
showed from
organised the
across
whole thing, and
continent.
I had to get.
Oh, See, you've got a
that-
knack of
No, I'm
this,
pretty
Stu,
sure
you've got
I
a knack.
organized it, Chinny. I don't think you
No,
did
no,
anything.
no, but I organised this dinner as well. I had a spreadsheet and everything.
Oh, okay.
To be fair, that's the most surreal day I think I've ever had in
Yeah.
my life.
Yeah.
Quite
So
possibly.
yeah, so my dad's he's chuffed and he's just you know,
Yay.
I mean, he would have been happy just
Mission accomplished.
he would have been happy holding Rosa and that's it. But yeah, it's
But
and
once
it's,
you got the
he was
torch,
super extra
Rosa
happy.
were forgotten.
yeah,
She
he's
were
like
forgotten.
whatever.
Rosa who?
Rosa who?
No, he shone the
And did
torch
anybody
in
else get a
Rosa's
gift
eyes
that
and
was like
blinded
anywhere?
her.
Anybody get anyone else him a gift that was anywhere close to that?
Well, no,
success?
he hasn't opened them because his eyes aren't great. He
Gotcha.
he doesn't. He wants to open them slowly. So every card that he gets, my dad really reads them. He studies
Oh,
them because it
bless
takes
him.
it takes him so long to.
Now it'll take him 3
read.
seconds with that torch on him. He'll be just like, "Fucking hell, I can just
Yeah.
read this, no problem."
So I've got the cake on the screen. But yeah, it's like a space themed cake that I had made for him, which is
Ooh, that's a nice looking cake.
Yeah, it is.
So it's got little
Yeah, it is.
astronauts on it and stuff.
That's
Oh,
like
I
one of the
can-
pictures on the left in Expectation versus Reality. Y'all ever go to that sub on Reddit where it's
No.
like
Oh, yeah.
people have a cake like this that they see
Yeah,
and then they
yeah.
get it back from the baker.
Yeah,
and it's
what
just
they
like,
actually get
it just
looks
says
nothing
dad
like-
in black and there's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
some streamers or something.
There he is
That's a
with the
really cool
torch.
cake.
There he's-
Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
Chinny!
You
Yeah.
can see him smiling from behind.
Yeah.
Like,
And
But
yeah.
it's
like-
like daylight.
Yeah, but it was a lot darker than that. I think the cameras like made the
yeah,
scene
made
of-
it brighter.
Yeah, but that torch is just like
That is amazing. It's lit the whole. But it doesn't look that big either. It doesn't look.
no,
massive.
it's tiny. It's tiny. Because
Wow,
because
that's
when he held it, it was like okay, this seems okay.
Size doesn't matter, y'all.
And then when he
Yeah,
shot
it
it
is.
in the garden, he was like, "Oh my god!" And
It's
he's
the
like,
arc.
he was
It's
like,
the arc of it.
"I can see
Jesus
the
Christ.
trees," And there he is,
Aw.
my dad with my little baby Rosa, happy as anything.
Aw.
And I know this is a family journey and all this sort of stuff, but I'll very quickly show you.
That's very sweet. Hey, I asked. I wanted to know.
So this is Jimmy, Madeline, my brother, Rosa, and me. So this is what they look like now, and it's all very cute. Jimmy,
Oh my god, they look so
Aw, so
old.
they're so hard, yeah, but
Yeah, they do.
Jimmy's been on the show, he's like he's
Yeah.
good, so it's mad, yeah, and he
Mind you, that's like Millie. Millie's been on the show, and look at her now. She's 22, starting a full-time job
yeah.
tomorrow.
I remember ringing you, Stu, and she answered, and she was 11.
Yeah.
I remember
she's
this
like,
thing.
Hello.
Hello.
Actually, she still talks like that.
Yeah.
To
So can I speak to you, Dad? It's like what for? What for?
be
So yeah, it's a lovely day. So I'm very yeah.
Oh, she's listening.
Yeah.
See,
Bugger
she
off.
does sound the same. Sounds the same.
Yeah.
See.
Bugger off! You're not cute anymore.
Oh, she's
The
still
older
cute.
they are, the cuter they ain't.
Yeah.
She still looks 12. Still
Nah.
looks 12. Look at her. Look at her.
No. Right, okay,
Honestly.
we got to crack on then, don't we, Stu? Because you're Betty Boys, aren't you?
Yeah, we don't have time for any of this. We got to keep
I ain't got
moving.
time for this shit.
Where
Right.
are you going? Story time's over, isn't it?
What you been playing?
What you been playing? What you been playing?
And I don't know if anybody can hear, but I'm making these cards to tape down on my tables to do assigned seating on the first day of the new semester, which starts Tuesday. So that's the flapping of the cards.
So, can we
case you're
talk? Shall we talk about the Indy trailer, Indiana Jones trailer? Can we just
Yes,
get
let's
that
talk
done?
about it. I've only
Well,
just-
Amar wants us to talk about it. He sent it to me, and I was like, I've never been nuts about Indy. And he was like, what the fuck is wrong? No, he was very cool about it.
So, I mean, but what do we think?
So for
what's
those
the-
who don't know, hang on a second. For those who don't know, there's a
God.
trailer that just dropped. It's about Indiana Jones. There's some video game set in Indiana. I don't know.
Yeah. It's Machine Games, so it's the people that made the Chronicles of Riddick, more recently Wolfenstein, and they've got a good track record. Let's just forget about
They
that
have,
crap,
but
that
I'm
crap
a bit
Wolfenstein
Wait.
thing that they made.
Yeah, well, what are you
Little
gonna do?
concern though, because Todd Howard's the executive producer, so I'm like, ooh,
Yeah,
don't want him touching anything. What's he on with it? What's he doing? Get his hands off.
yeah.
Get your fingers off that game.
Get his grubby hands off. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want no fucking boring, doesn't fucking work very well shit. Are you, mate?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's maybe there'll be a lot of quick fast travel in Indy. Right,
Yeah.
Todd
Maybe
Howard.
there'll be a shit ton of loading screens.
For me, Todd Howard is the guy that got bullied at school, and now he's got that cool job, and he's like, one day I'll be cool, and I'm like, and he's really cashing in on it, you know.
Yeah, he is.
So it's Machine Games who have they made Riddick, Wolfenstein, and they made that terrible Wolfenstein game as well, the co-op one. But the two other ones were good.
Yeah, good.
Good
Really
games.
good. Really good games.
So the first thing that struck to me was it's first person. And I just never expected it to be.
Yeah, it's doing that weird cinematic thing, though, isn't it? When something happens, it goes to third person, so
zooms
you
out,
can
doesn't it?
see what's happening to him. If he's going to just get impaled on spikes or something.
We're gonna put the trailer on the stream.
Sorry, I
guess we could.
I guess we could.
That'd be interesting.
I think it would be nice for some viewers.
Yeah.
I mean, were y'all both crazy about Indiana Jones? Because I've never really been, like I said.
I loved
that's about
Raiders
it.
of the Lost Ark when I was a kid. You know, I absolutely loved it. And I quite like Temple of Doom. And I used to brag at school because my mate had a pirated copy. But it was the uncut version where it shows his fingers going in Indiana Jones's chest and pulling the heart out. You know, when he goes tries to. So the first one, he actually shows his, you know, because he pulls the heart out of the first like sacrifice or whatever. Then he gets Indy up there, doesn't he? But the first one, you see his fingers actually going in, and then for the theatrical release or the release in the UK, they cut all that out. So you sort of know
Stu
what
wants
he's
to
doing.
see it going in.
Yeah.
Of course you do, man. I was fucking proper into horror films when I was a kid. I wanted to see it. So I used to brag at school, go, I've seen the one where his fingers go right in his chest and pulls his arm out.
Everyone's
And
like,
everything.
The teacher's like, what are you talking about? The indie film.
We need to have a talk after class.
Yeah, I did a drawing of it and everything. She weren't happy.
Yeah. So, but the game, you know, what do you feel about the game?
I thought it looked okay. Actually, I thought the actual animation looked fine. Facial expressions looked way better than what I'm used to from Bethesda. And I know we're saying it's Bethesda. It's not really Bethesda. It's not the same studio that made Starfield. So I'm going to stop those comparisons now because obviously they have nothing to do with it. But yeah, it looks fucking. Can I just say, it looks fucking poles apart from Starfield. Graphically,
you just said you were going to stop with that.
No.
comparison.
But I'm just saying, just from a look point of view,
I've got to give
not
this.
going to speak French anymore.
I've got to give this baby monitor to Tara.
It looks like a modern game. It doesn't look like something that's been in development for 10 years. So that's a good thing. It looked good. I thought it looked pretty impressive. I didn't mind the first person view too much, but I don't know how fiddly that's going to get in a game where you've got to do maybe dodging and stuff because of traps in dungeons and things. I don't know whether that'll be.
I think those work okay in Skyrim.
Yeah, I guess.
Is there an option to go third person?
I don't. Not that I'm aware of. Don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know. I don't really know about that. Whether Chinny knows or not. But he's
I'm the wrong person to ask because I'm a Bethesda fanboy. So.
I think the game looks good.
Yeah.
We were just saying, is it forced first person or can you choose to be?
No, it's definitely first person. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can't choose it.
No, I think it looks all right. I think you know, I think I was expecting a third person game, and I prefer third person games. However, Wolfenstein 1, Wolfenstein 2, great games, really enjoyed them. So I trust the developer, right? Again, we won't talk about that terrible Wolfenstein game that they made.
Yeah.
They've got good pedigree, you know. So
yeah, can I just say as well, there's a little bit of backstory. I don't know whether you're aware of this, but Harrison Ford quite a few times in the past has said no one else will ever play Indiana Jones.
Well, technically,
I thought they had one where they did a TV show where
they did, which is a lie because we had young Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think he means like as an adult, you know, in the sort of timeline that he's part of. But they're making an exception.
And I can understand that impulse, but I'm like, on the other hand, it's like get over yourself, man. It's a character. Let other people pick it up.
It'll die with him. But Troy Baker, I think, is playing Indy in this video game iteration. And Chinny and I didn't know about this, but obviously I said to Chinny when we were talking about before you came back online that it's pretty good impression of Harrison Ford. He sounds like Harrison Ford. I was like, that's pretty good.
And I'm sure that was the direction, but on the other hand, like there's something to be said for letting people do their own thing with a character.
But there's a debate, Duke. So the debate is.
So I didn't know about this.
The debate is that it could be Troy Baker's performance. Well, it definitely is because they've tied his name to it. But they could use AI to tweak it towards Harrison Ford.
Fuck AI.
And
so
AI, I'm sick of AI.
So like with the Darth Vader in whatever Star Wars thing, they James Earl Jones did the voice, but they de-aged his voice, so they sort of made it sound more like.
I mean, that's a little different when it's audio tweaking, but
I mean, this is still audio tweaking.
I don't like the idea of AI being. I mean, I know it's blending and that's fine, but if they are gonna like when Harrison Ford dies, like if he said no one else can do it, don't be using AI to bring him back or nothing.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, they
what
will.
I like about this is that it's still a performance and there's still an actor getting paid, but
Yeah,
there's
yeah, it's
also
all
a
mocap,
process.
isn't it? It's
I mean,
all
this is
mocap.
to me, this is no different to, when they make Robert De Niro look younger in The Irishman. You know what I mean? It's just
Or
it's-
even Harrison Ford looked younger in the latest Indiana Jones movie.
exactly. So it's no different to me. As long as they acknowledge the performance, they pay an actor to do it. Because I feel like we're on that road. You know, when that Final Fantasy film came out and everybody was like, we don't need actors anymore. We're just going to CGI everything. And everybody went,
Right.
absolutely fucking not, because that's stupid. And
No, it's because your brain can
brain
tell,
can't-
can't it?
yeah,
Your
and I
brain's
feel
"Oh,
like
that don't look
I
right."
feel like with that with AI and voiceovers, I mean, certainly there are very convincing AI voiceovers, but I mean, and I don't know this for sure, to be honest. It could be just Troy Baker doing a very, very good impression of Harrison Ford, but some people have said that this is probably a tweaked AI voice. But hey ho, I think it's good. I'm looking forward to it, Stu. What about you?
Yeah, I think so. You know what? I like a good story-driven adventure game. I'm assuming this is single player only.
Yeah.
So it's right up my street, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting. We just watched the latest Mission Impossible movie today.
Oh,
Dead
yeah.
Reckoning.
That was part of that was filmed in Birmingham, Stu.
Well, yeah. Well, I've not seen that bit yet. We're still an hour off the end because it's like fucking Sound of Music. It goes on forever.
Have you seen a part where they're in an airport?
I have, yes.
Well,
I have seen
that was
the
filmed in
airport scene.
Birmingham, even though it's
I
meant to
never
look.
knew
That was filmed
It's
in.
meant to be in Rome or somewhere.
Yeah, but that was in Birmingham. Yeah.
Who knew? But yeah, what I thought was quite interesting, like the minute like that Tom Cruise came on screen, I'm like, that's definitely her dye. Look at his hair; it's a weird color. It's a weird color of brown. It just doesn't look normal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then Kate's like, well, of course he's about 60 odd.
Yeah.
It's like you forget how old he is.
So we're excited about Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. What do we think of the name, the Great Circle? Does that bother us? Some people say it's an naff.
Nah, I'm not bothered about the name. It's how good the game is. Who
Wow.
cares?
Problem with the name.
I don't know. I don't know. I saw it and I was like, okay, that's the name. But everybody was like, the Great Circle. What's the next one? The Stupid Square. You know, like I don't know. Like people are just upset by things, but people like getting upset, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, talking of not necessarily AI, but advances in technology, etc. Have you two seen this Unreal Engine 5 like gameplay thing that this dude has done? Like this body cam footage. It's a new one. But it's the one where he's going through like buildings and stuff. It's not the one that we saw ages ago where there was like people in a warehouse and all that.
Yeah,
It's a new
I've
one
heard
in
there's
the
a new
jungle
one.
and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's incredible.
But I was
really.
showing a guy at work who's into games, and he thought it was real footage. That's how good this thing looks.
That's what he's trying to do, isn't he? He's trying to.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable.
Right.
I mean, I don't think a game like that would ever run on a bog standard PC, and I don't think you could make a full game of that standard, if that makes any sense. But it is quite interesting to see.
Come on then, Stu. We got to talk about games. Come on, we got to crack
Yes,
on.
yeah, I'm gonna start because I finished a game this week. Shall I talk about the game I
Go
finished?
for it. Go.
I know I'm
for it.
doing quite well.
Let me guess.
Go on.
Dead Space.
Yeah, I finally finished that game. Fuck me. Can I just say, right? I loved this game when it originally came out. I really did.
Yeah.
But I just found it so tedious. That last bit is so tedious. When you're pushing the marker through the fucking building, I'm
that's
just
it.
like,
Yeah, I remember that bit. Yeah.
when do I get to the end already? Because I've had enough. I'm bored. I am
Mm.
literally bored of doing this. And I think the game is just a massive series of fetch quests. Not fetch quests so much, but like going and either turning something on or fixing something. And that's kind of the
take
whole
you to where the
game.
monsters are.
And that's the gameplay loop and just getting attacked constantly by loads of monsters. And
You
I'll be
don't
honest.
like getting attacked by monsters?
No, I'll be honest, right? If I hadn't turned it on to super easy mode, I don't think I'd have finished it. I really don't. Because I got just getting killed over and over again was just like so frustrating. I'm just like, oh, I've had enough now. I'm done. I'm done with this game. And the amount of times that you're in like 0G and then fucking shooty friggin' tentacle things start shooting at you, it's so annoying. I'm just like, oh, I've had
So you're
enough
gonna play the second one when they remake that, huh?
now. Probably. Probably will. But I think the second game was a much better game.
Oh yeah.
I think the story was better, and I think the variety was more. This this feels a lot like they are playing it again, even though it's a remake and they've done a really good job of it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it looks amazing. But the essential gameplay loop's still the same. And this is a lot like the original Assassin's Creed compared to Assassin's Creed 2, in my opinion, because Assassin's Creed had all the technical stuff there and looked cool, but the game itself was a bit boring. Do you know what I mean? And I think this is kind of the same to an extent. I mean,
So could we say there are certain games that if you're going to remake them, you need to change the gameplay?
They
not
could have
just
got
make it look
rid.
nicer.
Yeah, they could have got rid of all of that push the marker thing at the end because it's so boring and it's so tedious, and you have to keep stopping to get rid of some shit so it can go further and get attacked by a load of shit. And I get why they did it, but I feel like it. Do you know, like when a book needs a really good editor? I feel like this game needed a really good editor. Do you know what I mean? To cut some of the boring shit out. Because what sort of Resident Evil 2 did really well, it got rid of all the boring shit that nobody liked. Do you know what I mean? It got rid of stuff that didn't work so well in the game, but kept the stuff that did. And I feel like this could have done the same. I really genuinely do. But it was all right. But like I say, I became very frustrated. And I was kind of... And I hate it when I feel like this about a game. I was kind of glad when it was done. Do you know what I mean?
That's not like you, really, Stu. That's not like you.
No, I was just like, I'm glad I'm done because I'm done. I'm done with the game about an hour ago, 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago. Do you know what I mean? But I got there, and I feel good that I finished it because I am going to try this year to make an effort to finish more games. So I am going to do that. Although I've broken it already, and I'll get to that in a minute.
Oh,
but
boy.
I've broken that already.
Oh, boy.
But I've got a very valid reason as to why. So.
Of course you have.
So Dead Space, as much
Says
as
you.
I enjoyed the early part of the game more than the later part of the game. Let's put it that way.
All right.
So there you go.
Duke.
All right. Yeah. There's this game called House Flipper 2. And again, I was worried that my cloud saves weren't going to match up, but it did. So House Flipper 2 continues to be awesome. Rocket League continues to be filled with miserable, angry children. I'm so sick of them. And they messed up the rankings because I saw something on Reddit where people were talking about, like, there's no doubt that they changed the rankings because I was Diamond 2 for the last 2 seasons. And then this season, I can't get past Platinum 3. It's ridiculous. So it's possible that I'm not playing as well, but I think they messed with the rankings. I played this Portal Revolution game last week all the way through. I had to get it done in order to talk about it on the show. And, you know, it's good, but it's not the OG. So I had to go back and play the OG Portal games. And, you know, talk about does it hold up? Man, Portal 2 is, I think it may be the best storytelling in a video game ever.
Yeah.
Maybe is it possible to say that? I mean, it's top 3, no question.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think there's any argument from me.
I remember writing a
think
thing
it's
once upon a
amazing.
time about how the Mass Effect trilogy is maybe the best story ever
Steve,
told in a video game.
I think genuinely though, I think up to that point, I think Stephen Merchant was one of the best characters, you know, portrayed one of the
So
best characters in a video game ever for me, you know, up until
And
playing that. It was just unbelievable.
His turn in that game, the turn from Wheatley Funtime goofball to like that's so well done. Like nobody else could have pulled that off as well. And and the fact that you team up with Gladys is very interesting. You know what I mean? So I just think
definitely.
so many things about that game are so beautiful. I had never read the comic that comes, you know, in the extras. There's like this comic where a guy's trying to help make sure Chell gets revived.
Right.
It's really good. I was surprised. I had never read that before. And they had these little videos, you know, they were the teasers before it came out, and it's Cave Johnson talking about all sorts of technologies and things. Oh man, I keep waiting to go back to Portal 2 and being like, okay, I'm a little bored by this, or, you know, it's a little annoying.
Yeah,
and I
it
know the
doesn't hold
puzzles
up,
inside
but
and
it
out
does
at this
hold up.
point. It so holds up.
Yeah,
and
it
there
does.
are all these community levels, which I've only really played a few of them, but I've kept it installed because maybe I'll go back and play some more of those community levels.
So have you
And I
actually
finally
finished
opened
it
the
again?
editor.
Have you finished it again?
Oh
this
yeah.
week?
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah. I
It's a
finished
big
it. I
game.
finished-
It's a big game.
It is a big game, yeah.
Yeah,
But
it is.
part of it is the solving of the puzzles, and by the time you've played it like 5 times, as I have,
Yeah.
you basically like zip through the puzzles.
Yeah, you're
so-
quick.
yeah. But I opened up the editor because I'd never messed with the editor, you know, to make my own community level maybe. And all I did was like put down, those like bouncy plates that send you flying.
Yeah.
I decided to figure out how many could I put one in every panel of the room and then just send the person flying for the whole level. But they max out at like 12 or something, so I can only put down so many. And I was like, oh, what a jit, man. So yeah, but Portal 2, it's still a great game. Who knew?
It still holds up.
I'm not saying anything remarkable. But the best part is, well, one of the best things about the game is when you break, Wheatley puts himself on the little screens as he's watching you solve the puzzles, and you can break all of them. There's an achievement if you break them all.
That's
and every
right.
time you
I
break
remember
one,
that.
he's like, oh, no worries. I got plenty of monitors. In fact, I have too many. So go ahead, break them all you want. And then eventually he's like, I was joking. Like, they're actually very expensive, so please stop breaking them. And he gets more and more annoyed and whatnot. So, yeah, great.
It
Portal
could
2.
be
Mwah.
the most perfect game I've ever made.
Yeah.
I think it's
I
close. That and Red Dead Redemption, but I do.
I think I love Red Dead, and I would agree, but I think people are more likely to pick faults with Red Dead.
Yeah.
But with Portal 2, I think
there are no faults.
It's pretty flawless. Like it's
no
accessible for
faults.
people that don't like enemies because no one ever shoots you in the game. It's
Well, except the turrets.
yeah,
the
but like
turrets.
they're usually pointing the other way or whatever. But like
But they're endearing.
but and like
Well, and it's a puzzle element, not a
yeah.
dodge the bullet.
Yeah.
and it's charming, it's funny, it's
Yeah.
intense,
It's sweet.
difficult,
Like
it's sweet.
got this whole thing with Caroline and Cave.
It's
and,
brilliantly
yeah.
written.
I think
Let's
it's-
just
I think
point out
it's-
how written it is.
It's basically our Citizen Kane is Portal 2.
It is.
It's a
and
masterpiece.
the other thing I recognize this time around is the fact that, a lot of games will have audio files that you pick up in order to tell the story, and they just go on and on and on. This follows the rule of less is more. They show exactly as much of the audio as they need, which isn't much, but you still know that Cave Johnson is a great character, and Carolyn isn't much of a character, but it's still, she's there, you know what I mean? And it's so well done.
Oh yeah.
So.
It
All
is.
right, we're done gushing about Portal 2. Who's
Portal 2.
next? Chinny.
Ginny.
Played a little bit more Alan Wake.
Yeah.
I've played as Alan Wake now.
Alan
Stu.
Wake 2 for those who don't
Alan
know.
Wake 2.
Right, okay, so you're in the alternate reality thing.
I guess so. If
If you want to call it that, I
you
don't know
wanna,
what you call it.
I guess so. I haven't played a lot of it, so I won't spoil anything. So if people want to I think I'm going to spoil anything. No, I'll say a word that might make Stu go, oh yeah, but it's studio, right? So that's, that's kind of what I did. So it's just the first chapter that you play as Alan Wake. I did want to play more Alan Wake 2, but
So what did you think of the blend of real footage and the gameplay? Because I think it works brilliant.
oh yeah, it's
It's almost seamless, isn't it?
it's brilliant,
You're just
yeah.
like, wow.
Yeah, I do. I feel like I know what you think of Alan Wake, and I know to get you to play a new game is usually I'd if somebody said, "Can you move this fucking house brick by brick?" I'd rather do that than trying to get you to force you to play a video game.
Exactly.
All right, but I do have to say, like, it feels like they've just matured so much. It does feel like Alan Wake is a film from the 80s and this is a modern day film. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's just
definitely.
so well done. And it's just so clever, and I know I've not even got to like
You've barely
the weird
scratched the
stuff.
surface.
I understand that, but I quite like playing it quite slowly, Stu, because you
I don't think it's a bad idea.
You're sort of savouring every bite. Do you know what I mean? You sort of like
I rushed it. I do feel sad that I rushed it at the
Yeah.
end. But it's not that I rushed it, but I just played it in massive chunks to get
Yeah.
it finished. You know what I mean?
Don't get me wrong. I
Massive
wish I was
chunks.
playing it in more chunks, but it's almost like I'm savouring every bite when I play it. I'm really like experiencing it. So yeah, no, really impressed. So I played as Alan Wake. So I'm basically.
I do think. Do you agree though that Epic went just do what you want, just do what you want, because it's some of it's just
Well,
bonkers.
but you can't think of this stuff, can you? Like really, like you've got to be.
No, but I
Remedy.
don't feel like they got involved at all. I think they just gave them the cash and just told them to, go wild, do whatever you want. We don't care.
Yeah, but Epic can do that, can't they? This is Fortnite
They
money.
can,
So.
but not a lot of publishers would have allowed that, would they? A lot of them would have just been, oh, hold up a minute.
Yeah.
We don't know whether people will take to this. What the hell are you doing?
Well, but it's so different to anything I've played before.
Oh, massively.
You know,
unique.
like which is rare these
Well,
days.
and that was some of the thing in the first one is that it was crazy and out there,
Yeah.
and they knew that if they were going to strike gold twice, that they had to allow them to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it feels like a bit of Resident Evil, but it also has a bit of like LA Noire or like just like weird like mixes of things, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes I think there's some. What's interesting about the full motion video, Stu, is that sometimes I think, is this video? Am I looking at video?
Yeah.
Because there's some clips of Saga. And I'm like, is that a real actress? Is that her? And then it goes back to the game, and I'm like, I think that was a video. I'm not even sure. So
No, that's how well it's blended,
yeah,
though,
it's-
isn't it?
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
so well blended.
It's really
you can't
good.
tell a lot of the time. It's crazy.
It's really good.
It's so-
So I'm enjoying it again. I'm on the end of chapter 3. So and there's about like, I don't know, 29 chapters or something.
18. No, it's about 18. It's about
19,
18 or 19
Yeah.
chapters.
So yeah, there's plenty to go through.
But it's equal amounts in both Alan Wake's bit and Saga's
Yeah.
bit. So there's about
Yeah.
9 or 10 in each.
Yep. So there you go. Play more of that. That's me.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to move back to Portal because
Oh my god.
Portal Revolution,
Oh, okay, that's fine.
I'm done. I'm
Why?
done with this game. Because
Did you finish it?
No, did I thought?
Did he bollocks?
Oh
I'll-
wow, you're
I'll be
walking away
honest.
from it.
Yeah, I am, and I'll tell you for why. Well,
I
there's
just
a
want to
couple of
say,
reasons.
this game. I'm done.
One's a technical reason, right? Because and I know I could play it on the PC, but I can't be arsed. But for whatever reason, on the Steam Deck, it's just started just randomly freezing. So I'll be
Well, yeah,
halfway
it's a
through a
fan-made
level,
game.
and then it just freezes. Like, no reason, no rhyme to it. It
That
just
sucks.
suddenly stops. And the only way to sort it out is to completely reset it, and then I've lost progress sometimes. I'm just like, oh, that's annoying. But
Yeah.
that's not the main reason. I'll tell you what the main reason
Okay.
is. I came
What's
to a
that?
level where there's this fuck off big building, like blocky sort of structure in the middle of this massive like hangar. And you're just
Okay.
given the white gel, all right?
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But there's no indication as to where you have to
Yeah.
get to.
Right. Right.
And I'm
That
like,
again, one of the
what
things about
the
Portal 2
fuck
is
is
that
this?
there's always a light.
You
or
always
there's
know
some
where you're
arrow, or
going. You
there's
always know where
They
you're
make
going.
it clear, and that's the beauty of elegant puzzle design is that they're not hitting
Yeah.
you over the head with a marker like this is where you go, but it's clear. It's available
Yeah.
to you.
And up
I
until
agree
that
they
point,
messed up with that.
I was doing all right, you know, and I hadn't come across a level where I didn't know what to do, and I was like,
No, it's
I know
okay.
what
I
I'm
mean,
gonna
look, some people are good at puzzles and some aren't. If you're not,
Oh,
that's okay. You can.
Oh no, honestly, this
I'm just no. I agree with you. I agree. I
was
think it,
just
as soon as
like,
when I
oh.
figured it out, I was like, oh fuck off, because basically what you have to do is you have to like spray the white shit up and then
Yeah.
over and then through a portal against a wall, like around the corner and then back and then launch yourself up onto a catwalk. Like it's the dumbest puzzle.
It's like
of
there's
all time.
there's no indication of where you need to get to.
And there's no
nothing.
indication of where to
And
go.
I'm
or
like,
how
I
to
don't
do
know
it.
where
Yeah,
I'm
I
meant to
agree.
go. And in the end, I just gave up. I'm just like, I cannot.
And you know what's funny about
be
that? Actually,
bothered.
on the discussion forums, people are like, the most common thing about the puzzle design is like, these are too easy. It's like, fuck off. So you know they built that one for that crowd who
Yeah.
is very vociferous. And those of us who are like, we like an elegant puzzle where it's clear what you have to do. Like, nope.
I mean, I ended up.
Oh, I hear ya.
I found out how to do it because I went and looked on a walkthrough, right, on YouTube.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
even the guy, right, the guy who I looked at, you could see like
Yeah.
I was flicking through it. And in early puzzles, he was really fast, you know, like getting to
Right.
where he needs to go. But
Yeah.
it took him ages, and he's fannying around and he's moving his portals
Yeah.
and trying to get just to
Right.
spray in the right place. And I'm like,
Yep.
I can't be asked, even though I know how
Right,
to do
and
it
it's-
now. I can't be
Right.
bothered.
But you, well, and for me, that sort of thing also makes me wonder. I finished the cards. Woohoo. It also fills me with a lack of confidence that future puzzles won't be the same.
Yeah,
So
well,
it's
that's
like,
what I
why
thought.
would
I
I
was
keep
like,
investing my
yeah,
time
exactly.
if this is what I'm in store for? I don't
Because
wanna
that's
waste my
what
time.
happened. Because I thought, well, if they're going to
How-
get harder than this, I cannot be bothered.
Right. Now, for the record, like that's the only one where that was like that, I think. But I agree with you, and I don't blame you for walking away at that point because
I
you're
was
not
like,
missing a
I'm
whole
done with
lot.
this.
Like the story doesn't really go anywhere. So yeah.
It
a
seems
shame.
like it's going in an interesting direction. They do
It
quite a good
does,
job
but
of
it
building
really
it up.
does. I mean, like I said, they rushed it at the end, and they said we had to wrap it up because we didn't have time. So, I don't think you're missing much.
No,
You know, and
I'm-
if nothing else, you could like go and watch someone doing a.
and they've
run
done
through
some.
or
I'll be
something.
honest. Some of it was really well done. Some of the puzzles were really
Yeah.
clever, and I'm
Oh,
like,
I
oh yeah, I
agree.
kind of like that. And sometimes I thought, how the hell am I supposed to do this bit now? And then it just dawned on me. I'm like, oh, that's how. Yeah, it's way more simple than I thought.
Some of the puzzles are of Portal, official elegance.
Standard, yeah.
Most,
There is
but
good
some of them
yeah.
are. And it's a shame that so much of this game, fan-made mod is so good, and so much of it is, well, subpar.
Yeah, and I do feel I do feel like who thought it was a good idea? Who came up with that level? I'm like, because that for me was the sticking point. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm not going any further. But who
to
started that when they were having developer discussions and going, right, these are the puzzles we've come up with. These are the ideas we've got. Who went, yeah, no, that's a great idea, because it's not. It's a horrible idea because it's fucking horrible to play and you don't know what you're supposed to do. And I'm like, where am I supposed to go? And I'm just spraying white shit randomly in just to see if I can get to somewhere. And then I got to somewhere and I'm like, well, I don't know where I'm meant to go from here. How the hell do I get it any higher than this? I don't know.
Right.
And it was just too obtuse. It was just too just made no sense. It was too vague. It was just not. You need some direction to give you some idea of where to get to. But yeah, I wasn't impressed. But up to that point, I'd enjoyed it. So it did a good job to that point. And then I was like, and they even like because he introduced another voice actor, like an voice actor, a woman, and she's so much better than the other guy, Australian woman. She's really cool. And I thought her writing was better as well. Weirdly, I
think that character is interesting. Yeah, and they could have built an interesting story around her, but they just ended up not really doing that.
Yeah, because it was like she almost didn't realize she was in a robot. Like, oh, what's going on? How's this happened? Where's everything gone?
Yep.
And I kind of like that, and I thought it was really clever. But
yeah,
I feel like they just walked away. They did it.
I think they really overshot the usual fan-made game mod thing in some ways, and in other ways they just barely hit it, and in other ways it's just way down here. So it's a mixed bag. At least it's worth the money. It's free. So if you're really desperate for more Portal, it's worth it. But don't feel bad if you have to go looking for a walkthrough in that one level, and don't feel bad if you're not, don't go looking for a good story, because it's not.
But that was like I say, the weird thing is, even when I knew how I had to do it, I just couldn't be bothered. I was just like, I can't be bothered.
I can't be bothered. And that's the other thing. There's a couple of spots in that game where it's timing based. And I'm on record as one of the best things about Portal and Portal 2 is that maybe one or two spots require a little bit of timing, but for the most part, it's not. And that's beautiful because, it shouldn't be about that. The best puzzle games don't require you to have lightning fast reflexes unless that's the heart of the game.
Yeah, one of the best things I liked about it, there was a level where there's 3 gels coming down, and I used the bouncy one exclusively to get to where I needed to go, and then I got an achievement because it said you used a creative way to solve the level.
Nice.
And I was like, cool. That's kind of cool, because obviously not everybody does. I don't know what the other way you did it, because that's what occurred to me. I was like, that's how I need to do. So I was kind of impressed I got this achievement. So I don't know whether you've got that too or not, but I didn't come up with another way of doing it. So it's like, ping, and it's like, you chose the creative way to solve this level. I'm like, yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, that's cool.
But other than that,
power to you.
I was shit at it. So there you go. So back over to you, Duke.
Yeah. There's a new game. I actually played a game that just came out. Oh my God, Will Wonders never cease.
Oh my God.
It's called Pal World.
Oh God, everybody's losing the shit over it. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, so there's this other game that you may have heard of called Pokemon, and this game is kind of like that in the same way that Gleeman X is sort of like Stummies.
It's exactly like Stummies.
And the twist is?
It's a much bigger pill.
So first of all, they're pals instead of Pokemon. Okay. Pokemon is such a weird concept.
Different,
Never mind, we'll get to that. Never mind that. We'll get to that. Pokemon as a concept is just really bizarre, right? If you explain most games to people, they'll get them, right? Call of Duty, run around and shoot all the bad guys. Okay, fine. Battle Royale, Fortnite, right? Last man standing, cool. Minecraft, you build whatever you want. Oh, sweet. Football. Okay, you hit the ball in the goal. Rocket League, even okay, it's football, but there's cars with rocket engines and the ball's real big and you fly around. That sounds kind of interesting. Pokemon. Okay, so you enslave chickens, and then you use the chickens to fight pigs, and then you enslave the pigs. You can't kill it. You don't want to kill them. You want to enslave them in your little ball. and then you use your enslaved pigs to fight bears. Stay with me. And then the bears you enslave, and you can't kill them, but you enslave them, and then you use those to fight the dragon, right?
Yeah, you got to
Like,
catch
most
them
people would
all.
be like,
You got to catch them all.
What the fuck are you talking about? Like, what kind of game is that? So, this is the first time I've ever played a Pokemon game, right? It's fucking weird as hell. I don't like enslaving
It's not
anything.
a Pokemon game.
Oh, stop it. You're
It's
okay,
not.
fine. You're running a Have you played this game, Stu? You seem to know a lot about it.
Yeah, but no, I've heard a lot about it because.
Well, why don't you let me talk about it,
Lily's
man? And then you
boyfriend
can
Adams
jump
was
in
going
later.
on about it today, but the
Great.
combat's totally
If
different.
he said it's
about
not a Pokemon,
I don't
All
know.
right,
I was just
well,
saying the
how about
combat's totally
this?
different. I
Well,
don't
how
know.
about this? You have a little ball and you run around collecting monsters in the ball. So if that's completely different from Pokemon, okay, it's completely different from Pokemon.
Never played
The
it.
point is this. Well, then shut the fuck up.
Pokemon
The
all
point
this.
is this.
Have you not played this
The
yet?
point is this.
I've never played Pokemon.
All right.
The
Okay.
point is this.
I was just checking.
This is the next, it's look, they took, Valheim, they took Pokemon, they smushed them together. They're called pals instead of Pokemon. Same basic concept. And I love me a good survival crafting game, right? Now, these are the same people who made Craftopia. So that was a pretty good crafting game. I enjoyed that until I hit a plateau and quit playing. Yeah, it's cute. But I don't like enslaving anything. You know me. When we played Fallout 3, there was that mission, there was that whole place where, there were slavers there, and you had the choice to go through and kill all the slavers and free everybody, or go in and work with the slavers and
Oh
enslave
yeah,
other
I
people.
did. I stuck them collars on
Yeah.
everyone, kids and everything. Anyone I could stick a
Because you're
collar on.
fucking sadist weirdos.
Yeah. Come with me, kid. I've got a great.
Yeah,
that's-
come with me.
Yeah.
Just come here. I've got something
There's a
for
lot of
you.
candy over
Yeah.
here.
Clink, off you go.
Yeah, I'll take you. I'll take you to Alton Towers.
Yeah,
All
okay.
right.
Clip.
Exactly.
So, I got some animals working on my base, and that's the cool new thing about this game is that, instead of me just breaking up rock to get stone, the animals are doing it now for me, which is pretty cool. At one point, I built a ranch and it'll generate wool for you. So I built the ranch and there's some sheep in the ranch, hopping around doing their thing. And I went away to go, capture some other animals. And I came back, there's like 100 pieces of wool everywhere. I'm like, yes, this is awesome. I got a tree.
So you
logging
don't agree
setup
with
now.
slavery, but now
Yeah,
you,
I'm just thinking,
now-
does he like it?
But
There's
I
something
really-
like he likes
But I
it.
really like the takeaway
Yeah,
from it.
you're really
Because what they're
reaping the
doing is they're-
rewards.
Right. They're bringing in Factorio and Satisfactory type elements of
Yeah.
automating. So how are you going to do it? Except, okay, you make a little Pokemon thing. But and this is the worst part about that though. There's, if you start building something, the other little guys will come help you out and it's great. But there's this like sanity meter, and every time your little guys do a task, they lose a little bit of sanity. So they need to take breaks, they need to take a nap, they need to eat something.
Hey, you gotta
So
look
I'm building
after 'em. You gotta
something.
look after 'em.
Yeah, fuck that shit. I'm building something. They all come to help out, and then one of them is just like, he's dissatisfied. He's taking a break. I'm like, I'm taking a break, motherfucker. Come back here and build this thing with me.
You're
and then you
such
can
a
take break."
contradiction, dude. Because you go
Of
about
course I
enslavement,
am.
and then you're like the
Right.
overseer.
Well, look, if I wasn't gonna be an enslaver, I couldn't play this game. Like that's just part of the game. There's no way to get around it. So, yeah. The game, this is now par for the course for me, but it's amazing how often they don't do this in games. They automatically draw from your storage. So if you're trying to make, arrows and you don't have the wood on you, but it's in your storage chest, it'll just take them right out of the storage chest. And I'm so relieved to see that becoming the norm because it should be in every game, but it's not. So, yeah.
I love the art
it's-
style, by the way. It looks like an Aardman animation, doesn't it? It looks like claymation.
The art style is good. The combat, as you say, is presumably different from Pokemon. I've never really played Pokemon, but I find that, first of all, you have to beat them up but not kill them. And that can be very tough because there were these toucans that were attacking my base at one point, and I was like, "Ooh, I haven't gotten any of these yet," because the first time you capture any kind of monster, it's like, yeah. So I went, why is this person using a pickaxe to chop down trees? You use a wood axe to chop down trees. Come on, man. Whatever. So these toucans were attacking, and I'm trying to get them down to like their last bit of health, right? But then this thing starts beeping, and I was like, "What? Get away! Get away!" And I'm trying to hit it with the little capture ball, and you only have so many of those, and so then it exploded at me, And it killed me. And I'm like, you mother, because if I could kill it, I would just kill it, right? But no, you got to get it almost dead, and then you hit it with the ball. And I wasn't able to hit it with the ball because it was jumping near me, and I was just like, ah. So that element of it is just like, I don't really care for that part.
Hey, are you having trouble with your slaves?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's ridiculous, but I am having fun with it. Like I was playing a little bit of it and I was like, I don't know if I'm into this. And then I started up again today during a break from paper grading, and like the next thing I looked up, it was like an hour and a half later. I was like, oh my God, I got to go do laundry.
Is there a demo for this? Because I thought you had to buy this.
No, it's early access, but it's on Game Pass on the PC. So.
I didn't realize that, because I was thinking, I see it's about $20, isn't it? Oh, I might give it a go then. I didn't realize it was on Game Pass.
You know, it's early access, and a lot of people are so salty about early access. They're just like, oh, it'll be ready in 5 years. This is just a beta. And I'm like, okay, first of all, get over yourself. Second of all, like, it's $20, like you said. It's not a lot of money. And third of all, it's in a pretty, I mean, it's not advanced probably, but there's a lot of gameplay. I've played it for like 5 hours now, and I'm still going strong and having fun with it. And, you know, the building's a little wonky. I wanted to put up a sloped roof, and you got to build a second story wall before you can put up the sloped roof, which is stupid, but nevertheless, that's a very minor thing. So
yeah,
I'm having fun with it.
I must admit, Adam's like, I don't know whether Nintendo will be getting the knickers in a twist about this. And I'm like, well...
No, they can't
I think they've done enough that they've not used any references to Pokemon at all, even though the gameplay's similar. And
I think it's on the Switch even, so like...
yeah, they're loving it.
What are they going to do, you know? Like, you don't own that concept.
Yeah, I was going to say, to be fair, Pokemon isn't a Nintendo property anyway, is it? It's someone else, isn't it? Nintendo didn't make it. So it might be them who's getting the twist.
Yeah, well, whatever. Fuck them. Yeah, so I didn't expect to like this. I am having fun with it. I don't know, it's not going to be my game of the year or anything, but it is cute, and it's, you know, the crafting it's basically the same as Craftopia, so, you know, is that. But I do think that the twist is that the automation of having your little animals make things for you makes it a lot less tedious. Craftopia, I think the plateau I hit was that it got a point where I had to like purify water or something, and it was like you had to wait like an hour to purify water, and it's like, that's just stupid. So for them to make it faster here is smart, and you know, it gives you a reason to go out and capture more monsters, so, or pals, I guess you're supposed to call them.
Well, to be fair, you know, they've hit gold because this is the most played game on Steam at the moment. This is at the top of the charts.
Fine,
it's
but
#1.
you know, hey, look, people want, there's no Pokemon on Steam, is there?
No, and they've got to buy it. They've got to buy it, haven't they, as well? So that's pretty good for them.
A few of the reviews said better than Pokemon Violet, Silver, whatever, you know, some version of Pokemon that came out wasn't
Scarlet
very good.
and Violet.
Sure, that.
Yeah, sure, that one.
So,
who knows?
Pal World, thumbs up. If you got Game Pass, I don't know if it's on the console. I would doubt it, but maybe.
No,
no, it isn't. I've definitely not seen it. I've not seen it.
Well, cool PC Game Passers. What's up, people? My peeps. Go check out Pal World and see what you think.
Yeah, indeed. Chinny, what else have you been up to?
I have. I've only played the Play My Game bit, just the other one.
Oh, shall we talk about that then?
Yeah.
I guess we're gonna talk about that then.
Yeah, Trepang.
Bitch. Yeah, bitch! You can stick your face up your ass. Play my game, bitch.
Yeah, it's got the Breaking Bad connection.
Yeah, bitch! Sex noises in.
Yeah. Trepang.
Trepang 2. Yeah, I realized we played this. We played this in 2019.
Stu was like, I got a game for us to try.
Yeah.
It's a thing that came out, and there's a demo that came out 5 years ago.
Yeah, did it? The actual game itself only came out last year.
Yes. Well, why did you suddenly get all worked up about this?
Because I'll be honest, I read an article and it's like Fear mixed with this and mixed with that, and it's amazing and it's brutal and everyone's loving it. And I'm like, oh, well, so I went to look at it on Steam. I'm like, oh, there's a demo. Oh, we should give it that a whirl. And then realized we played it 5 years ago. So it's like,
I don't think I played it.
I don't think you maybe did. Maybe you just didn't play it at that point. But it's a long time. It was before we did Play My Game, bitch. So maybe I just played it, or maybe Duke just played it. I don't remember.
Or we might have played it during a Next Fest or something. Who knows?
Yeah. So
what is it?
Chinny,
What is it?
It's like Fear, but it's brutal.
It's a first
So
person.
it's you start off, you're
yeah.
like you're handcuffed, and you have to run.
You're
around
handicapped.
and-
I missed that bit.
Yeah.
You're obviously some sort of scientific experiment, was the impression I got.
It's kind of like Clockwork Orange-ish, wasn't it? Like you look
So
watching. the screen.
SLH says Power World is on console Game Pass.
Oh, there you go.
So they're wrong. Thanks, SLH. These
Thanks, Susan.
clowns don't know what's on what.
I don't know.
Just because they hadn't seen it.
Yeah,
so,
but it's because I would have looked at it and gone, stupid, move on.
Okay.
No chance.
Well, that's
It's on
fine.
every-
That's different from it not being available.
It's on everything,
You're
apparently.
giving misinformation to our listeners.
Yeah, so-
Trepang 2.
Japan.
Yes, you are. You're all tied up. You're handcuffed, and you have to sneak around at first, and then you get some guy, and then you stab him in the neck, and you take his gun, and then you kill other people, and you take their guns. There's like a bullet time thing.
And a
There is
cloak.
on a
There's a
stealth
cloak
cloak.
thing.
Yeah.
I liked
Cloak.
how no nonsense it was, because it
Oh
wasn't.
yeah, it's kind of like Doom, isn't it? It's a bit
Yeah,
Doom-ish
it's
in
very
that
like,
respect.
right, you've got to walk and run, and then I was like, oh god, I can't be asked to play this. And as soon as it gave me a gun, and it was like,
Right.
kill everything, I went, okay. And then it was
Yeah,
like,
now you're talking my
then
language.
it was like, what was it, like, fucking E for visible and Q for slow mo. I was like, fucking great. What do I need to like? What needs to happen for those things to recharge? Nothing. You just wait. I'm like, fucking great,
Yep.
brilliant.
Hell yeah.
I love
Yeah,
love.
Agreed.
And
It's not doing anything new, but it does what it does very
no,
well.
and I like shooting the
Yeah, it
enemies
does.
because they absolutely
course.
explode and they just
Yeah, they
Yeah,
do.
they do.
I didn't know you
Christ.
could do this thing, and I'm watching this guy play it now, where you can grab an enemy, then you set his grenade off, and then throw him,
Ah.
and use him like a human grenade. And I'm like, wow, didn't know you could do that.
That was
It's
on
quite
Gears of
impressive.
War. That was a Gears of War 2 move, wasn't it? That was,
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked. Hang on, wait. He's played this clip. There we go. We have to wait for the creeper. I liked it. I
Yeah.
liked
I got my audio working again.
grabbing a room and grabbing a guy in a room and just letting everybody shoot that guy until he was dead, and then I crack his neck and shoot everybody. And
Yeah.
there's a moment where there's a lift and there's about 5 guys with bright shields, and I slide and I trip them over.
Yeah,
and I
that's kind of fun. The
blow 'em up,
sliding
and I-
mechanic works really
yeah,
well.
and I throw a grenade and they all panic and I blow them up.
I've
and
gotta
there's blood
say-
everywhere and there's blood everywhere and I love it.
Fucking is. The particle effects are amazing as well. There's this shit flying everywhere. Blood, sparks.
I love the fact
Explosion.
that like if you break line of sight, they still think you're in that same place. So they're like, he's over there. They're shooting over there, and you're behind them. They're like, fucking idiot, I'm there. And because the AI, the enemies are quite stupid in a way. Like they're just sort of like, I don't know. Like they look like they look like they got trained yesterday. Do you know what I mean?
But that makes it more fun though,
You
doesn't
know,
it? Because that makes adds to the
Well, it's
fun of the
funny
game.
too because there was speaking of Reddit, there was a Reddit thread recently that was like, "What game has the best AI?" And that been going on, and this one developer's like, "Well, you can't really answer that because what you want is most fun. If they're too good, then it's not fun." And this and that. And that was the whole time. I'm just like, I want stupid AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Well, this is a game for them. You want
Slaughter
that.
everybody.
Yeah, I liked it. They were just like, we've only got trained yesterday. This is my first day. Oh
Yeah.
I
God!
think he's dead.
Yeah.
I saw him go down over there. He's probably dead. Let's just go to lunch.
I saw one of the souls. I'm sure he had his gun the wrong way around.
It's probably true.
Now, where did I put my gun? Oh yeah, I left it over there when I got
The
it.
by the way, when I linked this video, there was another video by the developers themselves that was like stupid shit whilst we were developing it.
Yeah,
And it's just all this crazy stuff that happened while they were
like
developing
it.
the game.
I
I love the fact the developers themselves uploaded that. Went, hey, look at this stupid shit that went on when we were making this game.
Okay, which way does the gun go round? You know, you know, it's a silly game. It sort of reminds me of Soldier of Fortune and
Yes, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
I wish you could look down the scopes.
It's
I
there's
would
no
like it if you could look down
that
the
chop-
scope.
but it's just no nonsense. You know, it's just no nonsense. It feels a bit.
It's exactly what it says on the
it's
tin.
like a
I
really
love the slow-mo grenade explosions.
Oh,
Are
they're great.
amazing.
Yeah, they're great.
It's
Yeah.
bloody ridiculous.
I enjoyed it.
Put in work on what they needed to put work in.
I wish it was on a console, to be honest, because
I bet you do.
I
You'd be playing this. You'd be
I
playing it,
hate
wouldn't you?
playing games on my PC. I feel like I don't know, and I know I'm speaking to two people that don't think this, but when I play a game on a PC, I just feel like
Just get a gamepad and it's like playing it on a console.
No, I just if it's running on my computer, I just feel ick.
That's funny.
Okay.
I feel
That is
icky.
really funny.
I feel icky, and when it's on a console, it feels right. You know.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
guess.
what I am. I'm a console racist.
Yeah, yeah.
or a PC racist? I'm one of them. Which one am I, Duke? I'm a PC
I have
racist.
no idea.
You prefer playing on a console that doesn't have to become a racist thing.
It's a
You
console.
are prejudiced against. You certainly prejudiced
Can you
against
can
the PC.
you're
gamers.
good with words, Duke? Can you make up a word that sounds like racist, but it's for consoles?
Platformist. You're a
Platformist.
platformist.
Yeah.
By the way,
Because if somebody refuses to play on a Switch, they're a platformist.
Can I just say, by the way, this worked perfectly on the Steam Deck as well. It looked great.
No one cares about the
Right.
Steam Deck.
And it just ran.
I liked it.
You're still playing the demo, though, Stu. Did you get the game, or did you still? Play
No, I didn't. No, I liked it, but
came
not
out.
enough.
I like it a lot.
And I've got
yeah.
too many other games to play at the moment.
Too many
to buy
men.
it.
Too many men. Too
But
many
this
men.
is great. I've definite recommendation for anyone with some crazy Doom-like,
Oh, yeah.
fear-like, crazy
Let you run around
shit.
and blow people up.
I mean, this guy's doing this level forever. I don't know. Is it on a loop? I can't make my mind up. It
Yeah.
just seems to be going on forever, doesn't it?
No, this is a brutal kill compilation.
Oh yeah, so it's sort of just all the same. Yeah, going
They
over and
cut
over.
to something else. When it's
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. If this was on a console, this would be an instant thumbs up. Buy it. You know.
Would it?
Oh,
So
yeah.
if this was on console, you'd be playing this.
I just
now,
love.
would
I
you?
just because I'm all about I like a story in a game, but good gameplay. That's number one for me. And,
This
like,
is good gameplay.
It's great
there's
gameplay.
no
It's just
doubt.
it's no faff. It's just like, hey, here's a bunch of fucking idiots. Like shoot them. Like just kill them all. No reason. No
Yeah.
fucking. Oh my god.
Well, they've done you dirty, man. They experimented.
Yeah,
on
you
you,
were
then
handcuffed.
Yeah, I
man.
mean, no, but like that was all I needed, wasn't it? It was like, there's some weird
know,
thing.
I know.
Bam, right, go.
Yeah.
And I just
Yeah.
loved it.
Right.
I
You
even
don't
like
need to worry about them. Oh, they killed your dog.
yeah, the ragdoll effects. I like the way they've run. They sort of run like they're fucking army soldiers stuck to a floor or something. It's just janky in the right way. I love it.
It is very janky, but great at the same time.
So Trepang
It's just-
2. Trepang 2 is what we're talking about. I like
Massive thumbs up, I'm guessing, then from everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
Go
I
to
like-
Steam, get the download, play the demo. It's
Yeah.
free.
Yeah, even if you don't
Yep.
buy the game, it's definitely worth playing the demo because it's just crazy shit happens.
Right, we got to move
Yeah.
on. Next.
Yeah, we do. Is
Let's
it back
go.
to me? Is it
Yeah.
back to me? It is.
Yeah,
To
yeah,
you,
yeah.
I ain't got nothing else.
Yeah, it's just you now.
Yeah, Jusant. I've been playing.
This is the
So I've been
climbing
playing-
game.
Climbing
the
game.
It is.
climbing
I've-
journey game.
I've
yeah.
put some time into this today, this week. Not
Put some
today, but
some
Wednesday.
graft. Some graft.
I put some graft. I played it for a good 2 or 3 hours, maybe four at a push.
Yeah.
So I played a decent chunk of it, and what I kind of like is the further on you get in the game, the longer the climbing sections become.
Right.
And I kind of like that, but I have a little bit similar. Can I just say a little bit similar to Portal Revolutions? I've come across a couple of moments where I'm like, I'm not sure where I have to go.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit.
Which
of
is
that, but
fine in a mod created fan based game, but in
Yeah,
a
not so much in a-
properly released
not-
video game.
Yeah,
It's not-
but Stu's not going to quit this because it's French.
It's not been,
That's
can-
racist.
Yeah.
Can I just say it's not been game breaking level though?
Yeah.
Maybe 2 or 3 minutes trying to figure out where the hell I'm meant to go. There are some cool
You're a
mechanics.
Francophile.
though. Yeah, they keep adding cool stuff in though. Like there's these like crab-like creatures, but they've got rocks on the back, and you use them to climb. So you have to climb up those as well. It's-
How convenient.
how convenient.
Yeah.
It just keeps adding, but then you find a little note off someone, and it turns out that they farm these creatures to help you climb up the rock face. So they're farmed. It's kind of interesting.
What is my purpose?
They're enslaved. Just
Yeah,
like
they're
in,
enslaved so that
yeah.
you can
Our
climb
world.
further.
Oh,
Your
jeez.
purpose is to climb on. Oh.
Yeah, yeah. I've not come across any points in the game so far where I'm like stuck.
No.
But I have come
No.
across a couple of points where I'm like, I'm not sure where I'm meant to go now.
You've been stuck enough.
stumped,
Up.
stumped
You
for a
go
little
up.
bit. Yeah, well, you do, but it's not always clear where
Right
you
then.
need to go up. It's not always clear.
Up.
But I love the
Go up.
mechanics. Again, like you said, Chinny, there's not a lot of story in this game.
Good.
You pick it all up just from reading notes here and there and everywhere. That's how
Yeah,
you
but
pick
I
up
can
stuff.
skip those, can't I?
You can totally skip those.
Good.
But this is all about the gameplay. It's
Good.
all
You're
about
gonna
the
play
cool
this? What are you
climbing
talking about,
mechanics.
Chinny?
No, I might play it.
Yeah,
What?
Yeah.
it's
No,
all
because
about the coolness. It's cool climbing mechanics, and it works really, really well. And
I
it
like
is
climbing.
it doesn't seem like your game. But
You don't
when
know
you-
me.
when you
I guess I
get
don't.
when you
I
get
like
to
to
a
be
point.
unpredictable.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
you do.
When you get to a point where you've just had what feels like a bit of an arduous climb to get there, it is quite satisfying.
Oh yeah.
And there's these plants that you can activate with this echo thing. But if they're in the sunshine, they burn away after a certain amount of time. So you've got to time everything really well, to get to where you need to go to. And I like that. There's a lot of skill elements involved, as well as just climbing, you've really got to think about how you do it and what route to take. And how to get there.
Thinking. Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Who
Thinking.
wants thinking in a video game?
Thinking.
Nuts.
And it's puzzly to an
Yeah.
extent. There are some certain sections where you have to puzzle and think like, right, what do I need to do to get to where I need to go? And I like that. So yeah, it's really good. Just Silent Town, massive thumbs up. I definitely recommend it. It's great game, and it's on Game Pass again.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a no-brainer. And I guess it's still me because you two have sort of finished, haven't you now?
Yeah.
I'm done. I got nothing.
The other only thing that I've played this quite extensively today because it's finally starting to click in my head, which is Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Oh yeah.
And I noticed what was kind of interesting, right? You know, he gives him that shit Spider-Man suit, doesn't he?
Oh,
He's like,
It's very simple, yeah.
You're asking me to remember, Stu. Oh,
he goes, he goes off on his travels, and then as a leaving present for Miles, he goes, here's your training suit. I'll give you a bit of an upgrade. But it's all a bit shit and a bit baggy, and it doesn't fit very well. And I'm just like, fucking twat, giving him that shit suit.
Such a prick.
And then he gets a bit into the game, and it's almost like, fuck Spider-Man. I'm going to make my own suit, and it's going to be fucking cool. And that's kind of what happens, and he makes himself this really cool Spider-Man suit. But there were a couple of things that I've come across where I thought, yeah, that didn't make kind of sense. Because it turns out his uncle's also a superhero.
The Prowler.
The Prowler. But then sends Spider-Man to sort out some shit with the subway, right? Because some dudes have taken over the subway carriages and shit.
Yep, I did that.
Well, why did he just do it himself, man? He's already a superhero. He didn't need Spider-Man to do it.
Because he doesn't want to blow his cover, man.
Well, I guess he could have just sorted that shit out himself.
Yeah, well.
Some funny stuff happened.
Do you say that to Millie? Like, Dad, do it yourself. I'm not your friend.
Exactly. Some funny shit happened though, because of the biggest issue I've had is all the prompts are PC keyboard prompts. So your head, as soon as one comes up, even though I'm trying to remember which button does that apply to, right? And that's the trouble I've been having. I am getting there. I'm slowly thinking, oh yeah, I know which button that is. But there's still times when something happens where I don't know which one it is, or I can't remember, or I've not done something for a while. I'm like, I don't know, I fucking can't remember what and I have to bring up the controller to look what it is, you know, like the control scheme. I'm like, oh yeah.
Sorry, is this available on the Switch? Because it sounds like a lot of these problems
it's
would be
not
resolved
on the
if you just
Switch.
played games.
It's not on the Switch. It's on the Steam Deck. I'm playing this. It's on Epic Games.
No, I know. I'm just asking, like,
it is on Steam.
Workaround.
It is on Steam. Can I say?
I know it's on Steam, but like, the idea of playing a game where you have to memorize the translation between PC games or PC buttons and the deck, it just seems like a nightmare.
So here's the problem. This is a reason why, right? If you play it on Steam, it recognizes that you're using the gamepad, and that's fine because it just defaults to the gamepad and it knows what buttons you prompt.
Because they don't have to make up a whole new set of things because you either have a PS or a Xbox gamepad.
Yeah. So, but the problem with the Steam Deck, right, when you play stuff off Epic Game Store, which is where I bought it because it was cheap in the sale at Christmas.
So this is because you're a cheapskate.
It's because I'm playing it via Heroic Launch through Epic.
Gotcha.
It defaults to PC control. So what the Steam Deck then has to do is have a control scheme that translates all those PC buttons to the Steam Deck. Because it's still PC centric, it still has all the PC prompts, even though you're playing it with basically console.
So this comes down to you being a cheapskate. Got it.
Yeah, it does, because I got it cheap.
Correct.
Correct. But that being said, I'm getting there. But this is the funny thing that happened, right? There's a massive set piece in the game where a bridge gets blown up, right? So
that is funny.
So there's a bit where you have to, first of all, save all these people. Then you have to, like, stick the bridge together with web so they can escape. But then the last bit of it is this bus is about to topple off, right? Or that might be before this. There's a bus about to topple off the bridge, right? And you have to pull it back and save people, right? And I couldn't figure out which buttons it was that I had to press it. It's like, press this button. I'm like, which fucking button is that? So I was messing around for ages trying to figure out, and that bus never toppled. It just teetered there waiting for 5 minutes until I figured out which button I was meant to be pressing. I'm like, it's kind
Would
of
it help to make like a cheat sheet that's like, here are the buttons?
Maybe I could do that, because what I have to do is
maybe somebody has.
No, I could take a screenshot and print it off, I guess. But what I have to do is go into the Steam settings, then go to controller settings, then have a look which Q is, or which S is, or which T is, or whatever, and then go back into the game and press it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what it is. Fortunately, combat I've got off to a T now, so I know what all the combat buttons are. So that's not a problem. It tends to be a problem when I come across something I've not done before or not done for ages. You know, where it's like, oh, you need to do a web pull, or you need to do this, or something else. I'm like, I ain't done that for ages. What does that mean?
So someone here is talking about Heroic Bash Launcher. You have that?
I've no idea what Heroic Bash Launcher. I have Heroic Launcher, which does Epic Games, good old games.
Okay.
And something else. It does something else now, so it does 3. But I'm getting there. I'm finding more enjoyment now that I know what I'm doing. I'm enjoying the combat a lot more because I'd worked out that sort of left on the D-pad was finishers because I didn't figure that out for ages. But you had to press to do a finisher, and I'm like, oh yeah, and it's way more fun now that I'm doing that. But it's like some of the touchpads have multiple uses, and that doesn't always work straight away. So it's so, you know, touch it to do this, press it to do this, left and right on it to do this. You know, it's kind of like getting there slowly. It's a slow progress. But I'm enjoying it. The story's great, by the way. I'm really enjoying all the set pieces and stuff. But I do feel like the set pieces would be more enjoyable if I could remember what the fuck button I'm meant to be pressing.
How about the button mapper? Apparently, the Steam Deck has a button mapper. Do you use
No,
that?
you can do that. But that all that does is you can map all the buttons from like the console to the controller. You know, from the keyboard to the controller, which is basically what it's done now. You know, so
but it won't show it on the screen.
So WASD, that would still show whatever.
Okay.
WASD are obviously just your analog.
Hardly Dan says, "Are you playing it in desktop mode, Stu?"
No, I'm not. I'm playing it in obviously through the normal mode. I don't know whether that would make a difference. I could try it. I haven't tried that, but that might make a difference.
Do not question Daniel.
I don't think it would make any difference though, because it still recognise it as a PC game. I feel so. I don't think it would make any difference.
Don't ever doubt him. He knows.
I don't doubt him. But
Thank you for the offer, Dan.
Well, thank you for saying. I'll give it a go. I'll try it.
Can't hurt
But
to
he does
give
it
it a
like
try.
at this point. I've kind of got it.
Yeah, but then you'll change it and you'll be like, "Oh my god, it's turned my life."
Well, I had this weird thing. Can I just say, I had this weird thing happen today, right?
You can if you move your hand.
So I launched it via Heroic Launcher first today without thinking. There is a shortcut for it, but for whatever reason, I went in Heroic Launcher and launched it. It didn't recognize the controls at all because it was doing the control scheme for Heroic Launcher, so it wouldn't work at all. And then I did it. And then I did it from the shortcuts, and that didn't work. Then I did it from the shortcuts again, and then it did work. So I have no idea.
Make up your mind, man.
It is fiddly. It is fiddly, but I'm
it sounds
slowly getting there. And I'm beginning to get well, and I'm playing it on very easy mode because I don't want much of a challenge, you know, especially when I don't know what half the controls are doing. But I'm getting better at stealthing and taking guards out and all that kind of stuff. So I am enjoying it. It is good, and it looks. Can I just say, it looks so fucking good.
Oh
yeah, because of the OLED screen, it would have been a piece of shit.
You can, and you can enable HDR on it.
OLED.
And enabled HDR on it, and it looks
amazing.
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 It looks incredible. That, like, I must admit, looking at this on the screen now, it looks washed out. I mean, on the little console, it looks fucking so.
This thing you're showing is garbage, Chinny.
It does look garbage.
Stu's OLED.
It looks totally washed out, man. The fuck was that?
Like anybody fucking gives a shit.
All right, that's enough about Miles Morales.
Okay,
I feel like
we
just got blown off the roof.
Let's
There was
move
just a
on.
massive bang outside.
Well, you better go check it out. All right, I'm done. You're done. We're all done with games. Is that
We're
right?
all done with games.
Forever.
Okay.
I'm done with games
is there
forever.
Any news?
Yeah.
we're never gonna talk about video games again.
No, there's no news.
Just technical
Yeah, there is.
difficulties
There
with
is.
Windows.
There is. What news is
Uh-oh.
it?
We'll find out.
Putting news first.
I don't know.
Oh, there is some. Sorry, here we go. Pal World. Pal World.
Turns out you were right.
You listening?
Yes.
Pal
I'm
World
listening.
hits 3 million copies sold in just 40 hours.
Oh my god! It's almost as though there are a lot of thirsty Pokemon.
Yeah, but he's
bitches
also
on,
met with accusations of
Steam.
plagiarism. I don't know.
Well, duh. Of course there are. It is plagiarized, but it's not word for word plagiarism. So good luck proving that.
Yeah, I don't think they'll get. I don't think
cares?
anyone's going to care. I don't think they'll.
You don't like how close it is to Pokemon? Don't play it. They're gonna lose a lot of sleep.
Yeah,
Who
then
cares?
Some of the news.
Just crying with all that money they've just made.
Some other news
Yeah,
as well
exactly.
is the Last of Us 2 remaster came out, and everybody's complaining because it's exactly the same.
Yeah,
What did they
I said that.
expect?
What did I say? I
Not old
said,
enough for a remaster.
what is the point of remastering a game that looked amazing already? It's ridiculous.
Yes, exactly. It's like a Portal 2.
It were never
remaster,
gonna. It were
doesn't
never
make
gonna
sense.
look that much better.
You were
But
never
they
gonna
did
get it.
unless you got an
Anything.
OLED screen, then it would look.
Oh yeah, then it
If
would.
if it was on the Steam Deck, Stu would fucking lose
Oh
his
my God,
mind.
can you imagine?
Oh
I don't think I bothered.
God.
I liked it, but it's a very depressing game and it's a slog.
Right.
I found it quite a slog towards the end.
I gather the whole family when I play.
Do you? For a
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
of family
for,
fun.
for a bit of Christmas fun or something.
Yeah, come and look at this
Yeah.
festive, great, feel-good game.
Yeah, so they did add a mode, like it's kind of like a roguelike mode, so that's apparently pretty good. But yeah, I've looked at comparisons and they're like, it's if you squint your eyes and put Vaseline on your eyes and
Really?
and also
ass.
put
Well, then what the
yeah
hell are you gonna
Vaseline
say then?
up your arse, and then if you put a blindfold on and hang upside down and
Stick a
turn
finger up it.
and turn the video off, it looks the same. So yeah, it's weird why they did
It
it.
always was gonna. I don't understand. It was always gonna look the same.
There's also some other news about somebody released a mod for a VR thing. Did you hear about this, Stu?
No.
So basically, this chap, I don't know what his name, Dave. Let's just call him Dave. Right?
Dave.
He was like, I want to play more games on the VR, right? So he, like, I don't know how long it took him, whether it took him 10 years or 3 minutes, right? But he was like, chicka 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 chur, bam, enter, send, and now he made a mod that makes every Unreal game work in VR.
Yeah, I think I vaguely remember reading this or hearing about it.
So you've gone
somewhere,
from, oh, I love to play that game, to, yeah, you can play that game in VR.
Yeah,
No
if it's
problem.
in Unreal Engine, you can play it.
Yeah, yeah, so
Yeah.
that's the thing. And then the other news that I got was the 13-year-old kid that beat Tetris. Did you hear about this?
Oh, I saw this a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
wasn't
that's so awesome. And
Yeah.
I saw a news story about it, and they brought the two guys, the guy who made Tetris, the Russian dude, and the guy who popularized it in the West, to talk to him, and they were like, "Congratulations!"
Yeah,
That's so sweet.
yeah.
Yeah.
So 13, for people that don't know,
Good job, 13-year-old.
when you beat Tetris is basically when you play the game so long that the code breaks down.
it? It just crashes, doesn't
Take
it?
it
The
to
game
the kill
crashes.
screen.
Yeah. And nobody thought that a human being could do this.
No, AI's
right.
done it, hasn't it?
AI has
Computers
done it. But then this 13-year-old kid did it, and in the video, his mom is just like, "Well done, well done, good for
It's like
you."
when Millie played Super Hexagon.
Not the same, really, is it, Stu?
Oh, I don't know. She was pretty good
she
for her
didn't.
time.
Yeah, but she
was
didn't.
tiddly.
She didn't break the game.
No, she didn't. But she was better than a lot of people.
Yeah. So there you go. That's the news.
There you go. Oh, I've got some news, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently, shocking no one, devs are indeed working on Switch 2 games. So there you go. You heard it here first.
What did he do?
Whoopity-doo. Right, okay, we have got one
I might just
email.
take that bit and clip it on TikTok. So it's yeah.
Okay, we have got some emails. Well, we've got one
Whoa, that ruled.
So, essential. What does that word mean to you, Duke? The word essential.
Necessary.
Necessary.
Impossible to work without it.
Correct. Well, Jason said, I know. He says, a top album of 2023, The Greater Wings by Julie Byrne. Have you heard of this?
Nope.
Actually, the song The Greater Wings knocked it out the park. The album itself is just all right.
Okay.
So, I don't know how it can be the greatest album of 2023 if only one song is great. I don't know whether that makes a great album.
You know what? Jason Gallagher plays by his own rules. You
Yeah, he
can't try to
does.
understand him. It's like communing with the Almighty and trying to write it down. Like, good luck. If you're not Muhammad, you're not probably going to get most of it.
Yeah, actually, I read it wrong. He said the album itself is just right. Maybe that's, I don't know. It still doesn't seem like a full-on endorsement.
Okay, well, I can't blame Jason Gallagher if you can't read the email correctly.
Yeah, that's not his
It's
fault. That's my
essential
fault.
to read properly. Yeah.
It is. Since you never listen to me, Eurogamer has rated Signalis as essential. So that's where the word essential comes in. 95% of 4,766 all-time high ratings for Pentiment on Steam.
Oh my God, Pentiment.
As for River City Girls, if you call yourself a veteran gamer and you don't know what that title consists of, you should probably check your head. Me and the kid brawl it up when we hit play. As far as Kingdom Come Deliverance goes, yeah, I can see that game would drive Duke mad. That's why I recommended it. I know the guy was suffering last show, but I'm not going to lie, I took great comfort in it. Wow. It's not nice, is it, Duke?
Zinger.
Wowzers.
Yeah, well, you know, it's okay. I'm not mad.
I hope you're doing better this week, PC Master.
Yes, I am. Thank
Me,
you.
I'll stick to console. Stu, stop being a twat.
Wow.
Chitty.
Well, I mean, okay, hang on a second though. He said I'll stick to consoles. That's fine, but like consoles can die. Hard drives.
Yeah, they can. Red Ring of Death, anyone?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So,
Chitty,
it's
if
no
you
guarantee
want,
of anything.
if you want, I could pitch in to buy Stu a romper. Would love to hear that he wore it in your house for dinner. Then was
Oh,
forced
'cause
to
he
change
was
your
hucking you
duty. I've changed
show that
plenty of
thing.
nappies in my time, Jason. I don't mind.
Yeah, he changed 7.
Yeah, I've changed loads. I've changed many,
Maybe
many,
10.
many nappies.
Yeah, changing your own doesn't count, Stu.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, those adult diapers, I tell you what. But yeah, thank you, Jason.
Thanks,
as
Jess.
always.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, I guess. And then the only other thing we've got to do is we've got 3 Who Would Win It contests left, haven't we, from last week?
Yeah.
We also got a speak pipe from last week too. But...
Yeah, we've got that to do as well. But email-wise, a silent gamer sent us somebody who would win the contest.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And yeah, so we've got 3 of those left. I did start one, but didn't finish it. And that was so the next one in his list was who would win a DJing contest. So who would win a DJing contest? And it's DJ Atomica from Burnout Paradise versus DJ 3 Dog from Fallout 3.
3 Dog, no question.
You see, I don't think I've heard either of these, so I can't comment considering I do
3 Dog's
DJ
the
myself.
man.
So I don't know. I've no idea. Chinny, what do you think?
I'll go
You
with
know?
3 Dog. Yeah, I enjoyed 3 Dog. 3 Dog.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about the music he plays, but he's a more interesting person in between the songs, at least.
Yeah, true. I mean, for me,
I say that. I don't really remember the other one.
for me, if I'm going DJs, I would have said the DJ from the golfing game. You know, the space golf game thing that we talked about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the best radio type show I've heard on a video game. But I ain't heard these other 2, so I couldn't say.
What was the other one again?
DJ Atomica from Burnout Paradise.
Yeah, that's all right. You forgot Lazo from GTA. He's a good one as well.
Yeah.
Chuck D was a DJ at one point in a GTA game, so he's pretty good too.
You don't realize how many video game DJs there are, do you?
Wiki wow.
Loads.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's for you, Duke. This one's
All
for
right,
you,
hit me.
specifically for you. Who
Yes.
would win an essay writing contest?
Oh, not Alan Wake if he's one of the people.
I like the choices for this. I think they're kind of funny. So we've got
Alan Wake.
Vas Montenegro from Far Cry 3 versus
No,
Dutch
He's a
Van der
terrible
Linde
person.
from Red Dead Redemption.
Oh God, they're both terrible.
Well, that's the whole
I
point,
see what you
isn't
did
it?
there. Yeah,
See what he
wow.
did.
No, because 3 Dog's a good DJ, and the one from Burnout Paradise is a good DJ. A lot of these other ones have been like good, interesting people. The courier in Fallout New Vegas is an interesting character. The Dragonborn is an interesting character. These 2 people are idiots.
Yeah,
They'd
but that's the
both
whole
lose
point.
because they'd both drool all over the paper and go,
Yeah,
and
but
then it's so
who-
wet you can't write on it.
But the question is, who will be slightly better than the other out of these 2? Who
No,
would
they're
write-
both equally terrible.
But they're both full of
'Cause-
monologues and stuff, aren't they? So I can imagine they'd write a good.
Well,
you know,
that
they'd
doesn't
write
make you
an
a good
essay.
writer. It's like, yo, dude, check it out, bro. We're gonna go and kill all the bad guys. And what I need you to do, Arthur, is to trust me. No, they're not good essayists.
But come on, you got to
Next.
pick one. You got to pick one. Who would
No,
be the
I
least
refuse.
worst?
I'm not giving my approval to either of these asshats.
Well, okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah, flip a coin. You want me to flip a coin?
Yeah, go on, flip a coin. Flip a coin.
Flip coin. Heads is Dutch. Flipping. This is Google head Tails, so it's the Vast guy from
Vas
Far Cry
Montenegro.
3.
What about you, Chinny?
Right,
Who do you
that
think would write
idiot.
that? I mean, like, what have you got an opinion on this? Who would write the best essay?
Dutch, I think.
Yeah, I think Dutch is a bit more
A
educated.
bit more poetic, Dutch. isn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah, yeah.
We don't
Even
ever
though
see him write though, do we?
No.
Well,
No, but he's inspiring, isn't he? Because he gathers
He's
a group.
inspiring.
No, because he bands people together, doesn't he?
yeah.
Yeah,
he
because I don't have a
manages to do it, even
choice.
though
Like,
he's
we're
a
gonna freeze
horrible
to death,
person.
or we can follow Dutch. Okay, we'll follow Dutch.
Well, I'm there voluntarily, not because I'm freezing to death. Okay.
And this one's for you, Chinny. So
Hello.
the final one, I think these last three were for well, obviously
Ah.
a DJing for me, SA for Duke, and the final one's for you, Chinny. Who would win a snooker contest? Who would win at snooker?
Me.
Right. And the two people are Captain John Price from Call of Duty versus Mike Thatcher Baker from Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. So who would win at snooker?
Price.
Do you think? Do you think he kicks back with a bit of snooker?
Yeah, because he's got the chat as well, isn't he? I'm gonna fucking do your head in, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, do you think he'd psych him out, would you? Is that what do you think he's going to do?
If you miss this ball, I'm gonna shove this cue right up your fucking arse.
Yeah, and he probably would as well, let's be honest.
Delta out. Let's move in. You know.
Yeah.
that kind
Yeah,
of
and
thing.
he'd stay cool, wouldn't he? Well, they'd both be cool, I guess, wouldn't they? They'd both stay cool under pressure.
Yeah, I don't really know the other guy, but yeah, I'll go with Price.
Captain Price will be the winner. And that's it. So it says all the best. Cheers. So there you go. Thank you, Silent Gamer. Keep them coming. We do like them. He did give an idea. You know, last week we were talking about why he chose for the chess people, which was Bill somebody, wasn't it? I can't remember now.
Oh yeah, right.
This
Who
video,
would win
I'm-
the chess game?
Yeah, who would win a chess game? He said the chess one, the last question he read out, was more about strategy. Who was the most strategic? Because they're both
enough.
army veterans from being both in wars. I was thinking Victor Hoffman, just both
Yeah.
before the events of Gears 5, and Bill before the zombie infections, they were both similar in age and still with it. You know, they still had the faculties. So they'd be able to, well, I guess they did because they both were killing people. So, you know what I mean? They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
So there you go. So that's that for that. And we just need to do the speak pipe, don't we? Then it's time to get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Let's do the speak pipe.
Pipe! It's the way to leave a
No,
message
it's
for
crap.
us.
Saint Diesel shreds it. Here we go. This is a week
Hey,
old.
Veteran Gamers, it's St. Diesel back again. This week I'm going to make one recommendation for you and the listeners. Hopefully it's something you've not come across so far, but we'll see. It's a very strong recommendation from me because of watching it, I bought a double vinyl album.
Wow.
It was new and sealed, got it off eBay, came in the post this week, and it's excellent. It's a soundtrack to a movie which is from 2016 and from New Zealand. It's the sort of music I don't normally go for, sort of heavy metal, thrash metal, but I was so impressed by the film that I bought the soundtrack, and the movie film is Deathgasm. That's all one word. It's a
Deathgasm.
2016 New Zealand horror. It's a sort of tribute to films like Peter Jackson's Bad Taste and Brain Dead, and also Sam Raimi's original Evil Dead trilogy. And it's got lots of New Zealand deadpan humour, much like the Flight of the Conchords. It's a strong
yeah.
recommendation from me. There's lots of blood, lots of gore, a little bit of nudity, lots of swearing, and it's a lean, mean 1 hour, 23 minutes. I've ordered the DVD off eBay, which was fairly cheap. It should be arriving
Wow.
next week.
Fine,
But I just
who
wondered,
does
is
that?
there a film you've seen, a book you've read, a record you've heard, TV program you've seen where, because of that, you're so impressed by what it was that you bought something else because of it? And I knew Stu's immune to advertising, but there you go.
Yeah, indeed.
You ran out of
Yeah,
time.
I've got one
Thanks,
straight away,
Diesel.
by the way. Similar thing,
Yeah.
straight away.
Straight away.
I watched the movie Romeo and Juliet and bought the soundtrack to that. Also, Reservoir Dogs, of course.
Okay. That's a
Pulp
class one.
Fiction, and
Yeah.
what was the soundtrack? The other one I bought. Yeah, that's kind of it, I think. But yeah, most of Quentin Tarantino soundtracks are just great.
He does a very good job of curating music. I
Oh, he
agree.
does.
Him
All
and
their
Richard
albums.
Linklater.
And I love the way that he actually links sound bites from the movies into them as well. You know, as intros to tracks. It does
absolutely. I think that's the first time I heard that was on Natural Born Killers, which was a bad movie, but I mean, not bad, but just it was messy. Anyway, but yeah, they did that on the soundtrack to that, and I was so blown away. I was like, every soundtrack should do that.
Yeah, it's just brilliant.
My two. Well, I mean, I like the score to a lot of movies, but two of my favorite soundtracks of all time are Fight Club, which was done by the Dust Brothers, and that's such a good soundtrack. It's because it's not most movie soundtracks, even movies that are like technological or science fiction, they have like a classical orchestra doing the music, and that's fine. But Brad Fiedel did the music for Terminator 2, and it's all electronic stuff, and like it just fits Terminator 2 so much better than your stereotypical, you know, Hans Zimmer. And Hans Zimmer makes great music, don't get me wrong, but some movies really benefit from more modern instruments. So anyway, Fight Club is one of them, and the other one is Into the Wild, because Eddie Vedder did the soundtrack to that, and they're just really good songs. And you know, when I ride my bike in the summertime, sometimes I really love playing that real loud in the headbuds. So those are my two.
Yeah.
Chinny.
I like Snatch.
Yeah, another good choice. Yeah.
Soundtrack to Snatch. I like the soundtrack to Interstellar.
Okay.
Because
that was Hans Zimmer, wasn't it?
It was Hans Zimmer, but he used organs instead of.
Yeah.
So I felt like it was like, you know when sort of westerns adopted opera, and you're like, oh, there's a mashup I never expected.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like space and organs. I was like, wow, it just sort of works, and it worked really well. And I remember hearing that soundtrack, thinking, wow, this is like incredible. And then I really like the Daft Punk Tron soundtrack.
Yeah, that was good. Although I must say, Derezzed is such an amazing song, and when they used that for the teaser, I was like, this is gonna be the greatest musical experience in a movie ever. And the whole time I'm watching the movie, I kept waiting for drums to hit, and that is the only song where there's any drums, and I was so pissed off, man.
No, I thought that was
it's still a great soundtrack. I agree.
Great soundtrack.
And if you haven't heard it, if anybody out there hasn't heard it, there is a remix album where they have like Glitch Mob and other groups doing remixes of all the songs. And those are
well, it's quite. I heard a funny thing about Thomas Bangalter, or whatever is how you pronounce it. Today, because he was getting a sandwich. He was playing in I think it was either Manchester or London in the UK doing a concert, and he nipped out to get something to eat. And while he was like out getting something, a ticket tout came up to him trying to sell him tickets for the concert. And he bought them. He actually bought the tickets and then went in as a paying member, like a paying person, to watch the show, and walked in through the door, hung around with the people in the foyer, you know, before he went, because obviously no one knew it. And he said it was so weird because no one knew it was him. He said, obviously, I'm like half a.
I gotta be honest, man. There's a lot of celebrities, if I saw them in real, like, even who don't wear like helmets or masks or things, like I don't know if I saw Eddie Vedder tomorrow, if I'd know him, or like Al Jurgensen, some of my favorite musicians. I'd be like,
yeah. I just think it's such a great story. He just hung out for a bit, and then when obviously went to get ready to do the show, and it's just like,
I think the best of those. I saw one. Yeah, there was one that was like the guy just hung out in the crowd, and then like people were like, where, you know, they were waiting for the show to start, and he was like, oh yeah, I guess it is time, and he like hopped up on the stage, like go right from the crowd to the stage. That's the best way to do it.
I think what was cool as well is he said that the anonymity was great to begin with. He said, but as it became like an anvil around his neck because people wanted to know who he was. He said he ended up being this thing.
John Mulaney talking about going into rehab and worried that people were going to recognize him, and then suddenly he realized nobody recognized him. And he said, it was driving me bananas.
Yeah.
You're addicted to fame, man.
But he's doing some weird stuff now. He did like a classical album recently. Have you heard that? He did a classical album. And he's
Andre
also
3000 did his flute album.
He's done.
I want to listen to that. To be fair,
he's done the music for a ballet. So the other thing, he's done his music for a whole ballet.
Andre 3000 is one of the most respected rappers amongst other rappers ever.
Yeah.
So I'll listen to a flute album if he's made.
And you know, it's cool that he stretches his.
Yeah, he's just doing something. I like it when an artist is like, I'm done with that shit. I'm doing something else. Like, because everybody wanted everybody wanted like the Beatles to just make fucking the same stuff, and they were like, no. And then Kanye's the same. I know I don't want to talk about his personal life, but Kanye people are like, just make old Kanye stuff, and you're like, no, I want the guy to do whatever he wants.
Yeah, no, that's sure. Of course.
What's interesting about Thomas Bangalter, or I don't know how you pronounce his surname, but anyway.
It's pronounced Mangala to
Probably is. But I gave you to listen his classical album, and it's very musical, and it's like.
Do you want to hear a track from it? I can do it a cappella.
Go on then, let's hear it.
Okay.
La 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 poo.
It was kind of like that. It was kind of like
That's
that.
kind of the level of that.
But yeah, what you don't realize is, right, I know these guys are creative, but they sample so many things, right? When they're creating, they just sample loads of shit and then layer it all together, and then that's a single. But this is like he has to write proper music and create proper music.
But he's got the ear for it, hasn't he?
He's obviously got it because he did it. You know what I mean? He did it, and it sounded great. And I'm like, it's not my cup of tea, but I'm like, I can see why people would be impressed.
There's
you know what I mean?
There's TikTok videos of like, right, listen to this song. Let me show you all the samples and how they did it, and you're like, "Fuck me, that looks like hard work."
Yeah,
exactly.
I'll just do what Vanilla Ice did and just rip it off. And
yeah, what you don't realize is when they're doing all these samples, is that some of these tracks are so obscure, and it's like, how the hell did they even come across that and go, "Hey, wait a minute, that's a good hook."
I saw a video about the most sampled drum beat in the world. And it was from a really obscure. I
thought it was.
It's the one used in
James Brown, the funky drummer. For a while, it was James Brown.
It's from a song called Amen, and it's like the drums for Straight Outta Compton, and it's all the drums for every rave song in the 90s in the UK.
Yeah,
it's the same one, and as soon as you hear it, you're like, "Fuck me, yeah, that's the one." Yeah, and it's just from this B track in the 60s or something, and I think it was, I don't know who it was actually, but it was a hip hop artist and was like, it was Salt and Pepper. They sampled it. They're sort of known as, and they sort of sampled this drum track. And as soon as you hear it, you go, yeah, I've heard that a million times, that drum track. Mad stuff.
Yeah, you see, one of my favorite stories like that is You've Got the Love. You know, the song You Got the Love with Candy Staton. She did originally the song You Got the Love was for some fucking infomercial for some like a weight loss clinic or something. She did it for, right?
Yeah.
And then some dude took that, mixed it with Frankie Knuckles' Your Love as a bootleg. And then it was a massive smash hit in the UK. I don't think it was that big in America. It was a huge hit in the UK. And the record company contacted Candy Staton and said, look, you know, I don't know whether you're aware, but you're going to be getting loads of royalties because this single is like blown up and it's massive in the UK. And she couldn't even remember recording it. When they told her, she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And they're like, You Got the Love, this thing you did. And she's like, I don't remember doing that. And then she had to look it up and she's like, oh yeah, I did it for this infomercial thing for some diet thing show on the telly or whatever. And it's like, how did that guy who did that just like come across it and go, oh yeah, that'd sound really cool against Your Love by Frankie Knuckles. I reckon I could mash them together. It'd be brilliant. And it was, you know, but it's so overplayed now, you know. It is still a great story. I love it. And you can't find the original. It's so funny when you hear it in its original form because it's not dancey at all. It's just this weird ditty. And it's just so weird. Yeah. Anything like
we better move on because, you know, we've been talking about music for like...
Yeah, it's fine. Right. On that note, we do need to
Before the show, by the way, Stu was like, can we finish? Because I know it's fine.
All right. So let's do some shout-outs.
When it's something that's important to him, then it's
fine. It's just an interesting topic.
No,
it's time for a shout-out. Hey!
And Hardly Dan, by the way, says, don't forget about Jive Bunny. Who could forget about?
Well, it's funny you should mention Hardly Dan because he's my first shout out, and I'm going first. So he offered me a thing. I passed on it, but I really do appreciate him offering it to me. So thank you, Hardly Dan. You're the man. I really appreciate Jacinta being in touch as well because she gave me a very sweet email about how much she sympathizes with me for my PC meltdowns, and she understands why it's more frustrating than mechanical stuff. Brian and Teflon also sent love during the PC meltdown, and John Mouse got his hands on a really cool book called Delivery to Nimbus X.
I saw that.
So, thank you, John Mouse. Thank you to everybody who has read that book. If you haven't checked it out, it's a fun space science fiction adventure. Go check it out. It's worth your time. What?
Cool.
There you go.
Look out.
Yeah, I'm going to shout out Hardly Dan for his advice on Miles Morales, but he then said I don't think it'll work, so I probably won't bother trying. I've got into it now. My old mind is finally clicking what buttons do what, so you know what I mean.
Okay.
And it's not that long a game, so I'm getting there. But thank you, Dan, anyway, for the advice. Thanks again to Silent Gamer for contributing to the show. Thank you to not Derek, and I say not Derek because he always sends us a speak pipe. He hasn't sent one this week because he knew we didn't read out last week, so thank you for that. Thanks to Jason for calling me a twat. I'm not sure why, but there you go. I'll try not to be as much of a twat in future.
Yeah, if you could.
And thank you to Duke for sorting his shit out. There you go. How about
Well, thank you to Stu for helping me sort my shit out on Saturday.
There you go. And that's my shout outs. And thanks to everyone who obviously tunes in and listens every week. And any new
we
listeners.
love you. We're very lucky to have a community like you.
We are. So thank you for that. Chinny, over to you, or have you done? I can't remember now anymore.
You say that every week. I haven't done, I'll shout out to Joysticks and Chill because they released a show after 8 months of hiatus. And
did.
I have to say, they delivered because they told several stories of phones being destroyed and toothache and dentist stories. And I was laughing at those a lot. And then I told them all to Tara. And the one that finally broke them, it's like I told her all these stories. She's like, oh, really? Oh, my God. And they're really interested in like, oh, no, that's so funny. And oh, no. Then I told her one and I just said, and then one of the guys put a phone on his dashboard, turned the car, and it flew out the window. And Tara pissed herself.
Brilliant.
And that was hardly Dan's story. So all these great stories that came out. Yeah.
You couldn't write it, could you?
I tell you, they should just do a show every 8 months to build up those stories and don't talk about video games because that was just gold.
I had something similar to that happen. It wasn't a phone, but years and years and years ago, it was a hot day, and Kay was driving the car, and I had my hand dangling out of the window, and my wedding ring fell off.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, stop the car. And she's like, what? I'm like, my ring's just fallen off. My wedding ring's fallen off. And she's like, you want to see? It got a bit loose. I've lost weight. And it got loose, fell off. Got out the car, and it was leant against the pavement about a foot from a manhole.
Yeah.
You know, one of those grids. And so it was so close to going down the grid. And
yeah, I wouldn't mind if that
needless to say, I got it made smaller
I
following week.
I have to be clear. I don't wear my wedding ring now. Can you see? I don't wear it. Look.
How come?
Why not?
We got to talk. No, I'm only joking. I say this carefully, right? I hate the wedding ring. I don't hate what it represents.
You want to be able to flirt when you go out on the town.
Yeah, he does.
Hot guy, doesn't drink. What a catch.
Get in.
I hate the physical ring.
The feeling of it. So why don't you wear it around your neck?
Because I look like Nathan Drake and a twat. All right.
It's one of those weird situations, though, isn't it? Because you don't
wear
like
it under
the
your
ring,
shirt. It's just a way.
I don't like wearing.
You can't get another one because it wouldn't
get a shirt that says Tara's husband.
So I've said no. I can get
baseball cap that says taken.
So I can get another one, because I said to her very early.
Well, I know you can, but it's not the same. It's not what you got married with.
Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? All right. So, So I've told her this. Look, I hate the physical. I don't hate what it represents. I love what it represents.
Yeah.
I hate the physical ring. I bought it quickly. I was more concerned about her.
So is it just not a plain band? What is it?
It's sort of like a band and then a sort of darker bit in it. But it's too big. It's too thick. It's just not good. I can't carry stuff with it, and I always take it off when I wash my hands. And because I'm washing my hands all the time. With Rosa, like changing her nappy and stuff, I just stopped wearing it. I couldn't wear it anymore. And I've said to Tyler, look, we will go out and we'll buy one that I like more. But I would prefer to wear it like jewelry, when you wear your watch and you go out or something like that. I'll do that, right? But I just like at home. And
what's kind of interesting, I've squashed mine over the years. So if you look, it's actually oval shape.
Yeah.
Wow, but he never falls off. Yeah, it's gone oval shape, but yeah, it's just a plain.
Well, mine
bottom.
fell off when I was taking a glove off recently, and I didn't notice it for like a minute, and I was freaked out. I was like, "Oh my god! Don't panic! Don't panic! Don't panic!"
Yeah,
It's
I
probably in your glove,
I
it's
also
probably in your
don't
glove,
like
and it was in
wearing
my
something that you like. If I lose it, then my marriage is over. You know, like I just prefer not
I
to
don't
wear.
think that would be it. For me, like, I don't think it would be a big deal to get a new one, but I don't want to have to bother.
Oh, he's coughing. He's coughing. Cough, cough,
Yeah,
cough.
he is.
Cough.
Yeah, he is.
And
Those almonds. Ooh.
yeah, so I will get a new one, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't really like wearing jewelry anyway. I can't stand it. And my dad's the same. Like, he doesn't wear a wedding ring, and yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, as long as both people are on board, like, it shouldn't be the society.
At first, Tara was like, "Oh, you should." Oh, I'm like, no, it's just I hate wearing it. Like, why should I wear it if I hate wearing it? You know, I just can't stick to
It's
jewelry.
the agreed upon sign of like devotion, but your devotion isn't up for question or anything. If it were,
But it's like you said,
know.
dude. He doesn't have to remember to take it off when he goes out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
there's that.
I'll tattoo a ring on. I'll do that.
Tattoo a ring. Tattoo a ring.
I'll
Get some
tattoo it.
gold tattoo powder.
Yeah, I'll do that. That's fine. No, don't bother me.
Out of here.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else for shout outs?
No.
Nope. I think we're done.
Okay. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye.
If you like this podcast, there is another site you should check out, which is called VGHub.net.
And we updated it like 5 years ago, so it's totally.
Yeah, we did.
All right, show's over. No refunds. You heard the robot. Get out.
Buy my book! Buy my book! Buy my book!
Television set and go and do something less boring instead. Sitting at home, watch TV.
I'll just stick with the veteran gamer.
If you used to name an Indiana Jones movie, what would you name it?
If we had to name one, as in
Yeah,
not name one, as in like, ooh, that's a good one.
Come up with a name for one.
Yes.
Come up with a name from
Jones and the Sapphire Dildo.
Yeah. Indiana Jones in the Pyramid of Light.
That sounds too like it could be a thing.
That's too on the nose. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
it's too on the nose.
You like that?
Mr. Chinny Man.
Indiana Jones and the sack of shit.
I think I won this one easily. Can I just
No,
say?
I think mine's
I think
better.
we all had our own good.
Oh no, sorry, and the holy
Mr.
sack.
Crack Pipes
The
has
A holy sack of shit.
the holy, yeah, hard,
The holy
yeah.
sack of
The
shit. There
mystic
you
crack pipe is what Dan said. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I gotta go do some more school stuff
Yeah,
and
and
edit this
I'm
show
gonna go
and
as
send it for
well.
real this week instead of just
Yeah, said it
pretending
for real.
to
Yeah,
do
last
it
week he's like, yeah, I said to you. Yeah, he's the link.
Not
and he
last
gave me
week, the
link
week
to-
before, but
Yeah, the week before show, and I'm like, yeah, that's
Right.
definitely still not it.
Yep. All right. Bye.
Okay, bye. Right, see you later, Mike. Have a great week.
Yeah.
And I'll catch you next week. All right,
Alright.
mate. See you later.
Bye.